You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Mina.
I am that reminder that no matter how far you get in life, there's going to be someone like me, born with much more than you do, who can cash in and take it all away at any moment.
Come on over, Sam. I'm being. See, earlier I said something stupid to him, and now this is my receipt. Okay.
Sabu's just sabotaging you.
Yeah. He sure did. Yeah, he's taking over.
Hijacking is a better word. You're right.
Good luck.
Ooh, follow the white rabbit.
The mask has been removed, but I tell you what, he's still the same pro wrestler, whether he's wearing a mask or not.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Noah. I believe in Datula. The Meltzer of the multiverse. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man.
We just want to say thank you to Simply Reliable Studios for voting us as Tag Team of the Year.
Of course.
Because you know what they say, right? If you can't swim,
You're bound to drown.
Tonight, she is sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios from Orlando, Florida. She is everybody's favorite BFF, Izzy Marino.
Heyo, this is Jack Cartwheel. You are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
get it? Got it.
Buongiorno, everybody, and welcome to Simply Reliable Studios. We bring you a live watch-along event live from Turin for the first time ever as WWE brings you a clash in Italy. Welcome in, everybody, to Simply Reliable Studios, and hello to you all. I am, of course, the Superman, the Superbrand, the voice of success for a great performance professional wrestling. Damn it, my name is Noel Foster. Thank you, everybody that is tuned in. Please subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. And if you want to dictate the conversation, super chat, PayPal, patch, as simple as that. Of course, I am never alone when it comes to these watch-along events that we bring forward to you. Please welcome in, of course, to the commentary booth today for this event, Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz and the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams from the Morphing Grid. Gentlemen, it is once again that time for the WWE to take center stage from another first time ever international landscape as we come from Turin, Italy for this unique event. How are you this fine afternoon? Walter, I will start with you.
I'm awesome. Ready to get coverage interesting. The European crowds bring the noise, so I can't wait to hear this. Even if the PLE itself or the matches aren't the greatest, the audience somehow makes it seem like it. So I actually love when they're abroad.
It's a one-of-a-kind atmosphere, and again, it's a first-time ever historical milestone in the WWE universe ecosystem as we look live at a capacity crowd on can in the Finale Arena, of course, from Turin, Italy. And I hope that everyone enjoys this clash by the end of it this evening. JJ, how are you this afternoon as we get ready for this festivities?
I'm doing well. You know, I'm excited to actually be here for a watch-along PLE, at least for now, you know. I know we kind of talked about potentially giving you WWE off, but I feel like a nice, calm, if we can call it calm, three-man booth with us. It's a nice way to go. And to Walter's point, these international crowds always somehow make the PLEs seem better. As we respect the mat, because the mat is sacred, as the Reign General Gunther graces Italy with his presence.
And of course, Gunther, the ring general, formerly known as Walter, was a mainstay name and a dominant force across the entire European independent scene, whether it was progress or over-the-top wrestling against the rivals, the likes of Jordan Devlin, Bruiserweight Pete Dunne, British Strong Style, and Gallows, and of course, the longest reigning NXT UK champion, longest reigning WWE Intercontinental champion, of course, in WWE history, now known as the career killer, killing the careers of AJ Styles, Goldberg, and John Cena, looking to choke out, promises to choke out Kuros Knight and win the undisputed WWE Championship. Yes, Walter.
It wasn't the last time Gunther in Italy he lost the World Heavyweight title. I just thought about that. He lost the title in Italy last time.
You might be correct there. I'm trying to think of which title you may be referring to, though, because I know it wasn't a WWE championship. Because, of course, the World Heavyweight Championship he lost at SummerSlam. The Intercontinental Championship he lost at WrestleMania. We got Italian commentary here in Clash in Italy as well. Shout out to Michele Posa and Luca Francini. It is also one of those things that I want to point out, by the way, that this is Cody and Gunther's second ever singles match, but it is their 7th encounter that they are sharing the ring together after sharing the ring across multiple Royal Rumbles. Cody Rhodes stands 1-0 against the ring general. Let me get the graphics, by the way. As of course, we come out to wrestling as more than one royal family. Shout out to Jeff Meacham, by the way, for providing me graphics for tonight's event, of course. Oh, boy. Wow. That was a boisterous sing-along for the undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. Of course, everyone sings that song because everyone knows that song. The blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Oh! Cody Rhodes, of course, our current and still undisputed WWE champion after outlasting the Viper, Randy Orton, and beating earlier this year, Drew McIntyre, has been the QB1, the mainstay, the final boss as of late in the TKO era of WWE, and a man that Gunther has been unable to beat. Cody said himself when Gunther arrived on SmackDown, I'm an easy man to find, but I'm hard to take down. The first time these two met each other, of course, was the Royal Rumble back in 2023, where, of course, it came down to Gunther and Cody won that night to start the finish to his story. Follow-up year in 2024, Gunther and Cody were part of the Final 3, and, of course, Cody won again at that Royal Rumble. The only other time these two men returned in singles action, as I said, was over the Crown Jewel in 2024. And Cody Rhodes won the inaugural Men's Crown Jewel Championship that night at the expense of the ring general. And, of course, Gunther has been very vocal about Cody Rhodes' entitlement and self-fulfilled rise to promise, basically given everything here in this business. Like Gunther has proven for the entirety of his career why he is the ring general and why he claims this mat is sacred. Believes that he is the one that appreciates this sport the most. As we get ready for our course introductions here for opening match, shout out to those that are tuning in for the first time ever. If you haven't already, please follow us at SR Studios 2024 on the X. Continue to be part of our festivities and watch-alongs here and upcoming attractions. Follow us on the X today and subscribe to all the outlets that are, of course, here on YouTube. And if you haven't already, also, please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Let's go down to Alicia Taylor for opening match introductions. One fall! I'm so glad the international crowds still do that. Oh, boy. When was the last time the WWE Undisputed WWE Championship opened a freaking PLE?
Right? I thought they were going to open with Gunther and Brock.
I think you mean Oba and Brock.
Yeah, Oba and Brock.
I was thinking Rhea and Jade were going to be the curtain jerker because that's the rightful spot for that match. Gunther, 38 years of age, involved in this business now for 20 years, trained by the likes of Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii, amongst others.
In all fairness to Rhea and Jade, and I know a lot of people are sour on Jade. I know a lot of people are tired of Rhea as the champion, but you don't put the Women's World Championship as the curtain jerker when you've still got the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the show.
Well, to your point,
bookending it with the two main championships is the right thing to go. And God damn it, I don't care what you say. I don't care what WWE says. They can try to peddle their propaganda all they want. Cody Rhodes is not the undisputed WWE champion.
Here we go again.
Roman Reigns is the fucking world heavyweight champion. There's a whole other world championship. Therefore, there is a dispute as to who is the champion. You cannot have an undisputed title. Walter
Don't have to follow that.
Here.
Don't have to follow that because the bell rings are underway. You could argue with the dictionary all you want, but the facts are the same when it comes to what WWE believes this championship represents. At the end of the day, the WWE championship is still the cornerstone, the holy grail, the richest prize, the Mona Lisa of expectations when it comes to being a WWE superstar.
Is it my TV or it's a little dark in there? Did they like turn down some lights or something?
Oh, they definitely turned down some lights because that arena is not fully filled yet. We saw that from the overhead drone spot. They know what they're doing. They're trying to hide it. At the end of the day, though, it shouldn't be focused so much on who's up there in the nosebleeds, no matter what the conversion currency is. It's the focus of the two men inside the ring.
Stardust cartwheel. What the hell?
Dan Ankler, by the way, of course, the official for this match. You might recognize that referee, who, of course, was also the official when Gunther retired AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. The Greco-Roman knuckle lock being applied here. And, of course, right now, Champion's advantage, title on his hands via pinfall or submission inside the ring. And for Gunther, he has to try and find a mistake in Cody Rhodes' offense, in Cody Rhodes' amateur wrestling repertoire. Because, again, Gunther knows that Cody can't beat him. Stiff exchange here right now. Gunther driving the champion to the corner. And, of course, Cody has had a whole lot on his mind ever since WrestleMania. Vicious knife-edge chop by the Ring General, Gunther's greatest weapon. You could ask a slew of individuals from this business how devastating that chop is. And, of course, Gunther, for many that don't know, is a throwback. He's a traditionalist. There's nothing flashy about him. It's just effective, and it's original, and it's down pat, and it's fundamental. Oh, man! And he ran right into, springboard right into that chop. The fact of the matter that we talk about many intangibles about a professional wrestler also being ring IQ, I consider Gunther one of the smartest wrestlers, bell to bell, to ever place foot in that ring, in those boots. And now with the open palm strike, just driving Cody down the cover with the lateral press. It's a 1 count. Can you imagine here in Italy, we make history and crown a brand new, undisputed WWE champion? What would that do to the WWE landscape? And I put that out to everybody right now, as of course, my observers right now are doing their research and also handling other matters. And of course, we handle multiple things here across the Super Labo studios. For those that don't know, of course, as we engage in not only watch alongs, we engage in shenanigans, interviews, and special attractions like game nights too. Gunther, of course, who arrived in WWE during NXT UK, confronting the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne and seizing the NXT UK Championship at NXT TakeOver New York and going on an unprecedented run of 685 days for losing it to Ilya Dragunov and then making his way to the main roster to become the longest reigning WWE Intercontinental Champion in this company's history. Look for the sleeper hold. Big boom! Turned Cody sideways and dropped him like a bad habit. Someone make a poll. Is the WWE Championship undisputed or disputed so we can finally settle the squabble? Because despite JJ's TED Talk, WWE officially says otherwise. What a vicious boot right to the jaw of the freaking champion. And of course, we talk about Night of Champions coming up here. Cody Rhodes, King of the Ring last year. Gunther, of course, King of the Ring back in 2024 at the expense of the Viper, Randy Orton, as we prepare, of course, for Clash of Champions next month, or Night of Champions, excuse me, wordplay, Night of Champions next month. And yes, folks, we'll be covering that, along with so much more. The fact of the matter is that Gunther, unlike what John Cena says, it's about the noise and how you react to it. Gunther almost drowns out the noise. The only thing he sees is literally what's in front of him. The only thing he hears is maybe his opponent trying to come for him. Now, Cody throwing himself into the challenger, trying to take Gunther off his feet. Gunther goes in the corner, and in the moment, what kind of clear the power slam? Opening bout so far here. Shout out to those that are tuning in to a WPLE for the first time on ESPN. This, of course, after these two matches. This will be exclusively on ESPN Unlimited. Flip-flop and fly with the bionic elbow. Shout out to the late, great Dusty Rhodes. Get to the midsection. Now Cody, look at the channel. Is in her pedigree. Is it game over for the ring general? Kick out at 2.5 for Gunther. And Cody's going to have to put out probably every one of those freaking adaptations of his career, all those disciplines. If he's going to overcome the ring general here tonight again. He can't consider Gunther the same man that he once faced a couple of years ago, in my opinion, JJ. We've seen the evolution of both these men. To your point, Gunther was the World Heavyweight Championship last year when Cody wasn't a champion at all. Whoa. Cody Rhodes, oh man, what a running drop kick by Gunther. And now Cody hoisted up by Gunther, high above the shoulders with a power bomb. High stack is enough. Kick out two by Cody. Good grief. Impact driving that man down. Center of the ring and stacked the shoulders up. And of course, Gunther, all near 300 pounds of his body weight, pushing down on the undisputed WWE champion. And Cody Rhodes forcing his way out. Now going to the splash, gets the knees up. Now Cody off the second rope. Disaster kick connects. And Cody Rhodes filling back in the driver's seat. Once again, looking up at the ring general for the very move here with SmackDown. Crossroads! Chain, hook of the far leg, kick out two by Gunther.
If you look in the bottom corner of the screen, Noah, there is now actually a poll up.
I want to be in serious. You know what? Fudge it. Why not? This is all about the word of the day. It's interactivity. So now the community can let their voice be heard, much like the Renegade J.J. Williams did. And again, say it and freaking hit it in the freaking poll. Go ahead and get the word out and use the hashtag WWE Clash to be part of the conversation, and also use the @SRStudios2024 to bring us forward in the conversation for the coverage here tonight for Clash in Italy and future WPLE events in your feed. Now up to the top log for a big Gunther caught up though, but immediately rolls from the shoulders. Oh man. Great move by Cody, escaping the sleeper, turn to pin-in combination. Gunther immediately though going back to the sleeper hold though, as Gunther promised tonight that he will put Cody Rhodes to sleep, much like he did AJ Styles, much like he did to John Cena. And Cody driven down to the ring right now. Gunther with his body, grapevine around the champion. Cody might be starting to fade here. Gunther again refusing to let go of this hold. Full body weight right now being carried by Cody Rhodes. Again, Dan Ankle was the one to call AJ Styles incapacity. If he calls that tonight, Gunther will claim victory and the WWE Championship. But they're trying to find somehow, some way to force a looseness in Gunther's grip around his throat. And again, Gunther applying Billy Robinson fundamentals here, changing position almost within 6 seconds just to keep pressure and control on this submission. Cody, though, hoisting up Gunther on his back in an electric chair dropped. Great space, but only for a split second. Gunther immediately back on the sleeper hold again. Now the well-placed elbows hammering down, driving out the air of the champion, immediately squeezing the life out of Cody.
Oh, those elbows are right to the top of the head. That'll knock your equilibrium off.
Now, you would know MMA expert, and right now, Cody Rhodes might literally be fading, nowhere to go, center of the ring, the arm literally just a fingertip away from tapping, the head down. Cody Rhodes is literally passing out here, folks. Gasp me for it. Look at the discoloration here.
There's no way, dude. Oh my god.
Can you imagine?
I couldn't, especially with Street Fighter coming out later. They're gonna have the Cody not being promoted as not champ.
The audience right now willing on the champion who finds his way to force the rope break with his length with the boot on the bottom rope.
See, I hate the fact that everyone keeps bringing Street Fighter into this and promoting the movie. It's like the movie doesn't come out until October. He can get the belt back at SummerSlam if they want to correct it.
Much
There's
like it did
plenty
last
of time for him to get the belt back in order to still correct it if that is something that they are seriously concerned about.
Yeah, you don't have to be a champ to promote a movie any damn way.
Thank you. I'm so glad someone said that.
Matter of fact, it's better to not be the champ because then you're not taking somebody like a high champ off of TV to go promote and everything. It's better that you're not the champ while you're doing that.
You're also not taking the world championship hostage from the company in a way.
No, there's some truth to that, but at the same time, both Cody and Roman are going to be in Street Fighter. Both of them are currently your champions. So that is a bit of a positive thing for presentation, for marketing. Again, all the things that Noah hates talking about when it comes to professional wrestling. You know, when you put those things into the mix here, it is a positive as far as promotions and eyes on the brand, which is something WWE has always been concerned with, is eyes on the brand.
Well, right now, Cody's been concerned about this running lariat by Gunther as he goes up the second rope, looking for the Cody cutter again, immediately caught in the sleeper, side headlock. Now Cody with a sleeper on Gunther. And now Gunther pushing Cody up the ropes, up the second again. Counter connects. What a furious exchange. Cody Rhodes once again looking to follow through. Takes Gunther down with a lariat.
Today it's Jeff and Walter that are on the same frequency. Look at that.
Oh, hold on. I was blocking the comment. What he said. Neither Cody nor Roman. Yeah.
Second crossroads by Cody. Hook of the near leg to retain. And got him.
Wait. He cheated. He pulled his leg off the rope.
Did
he not have his foot on the rope?
The wherewithal, you know, Walter is a ring general. If he was smart enough to pull the leg off the rope, he just outsmarted the ring general.
Well, again, sometimes you don't need to be more physically capable. You just need to be more mentally in tune to beat the ring general. And to your point, I think Cody found a way to make sure that Gunther was not seen visually for a rope break. You hear Gunther admonishing it, it feels like, from ringside. Regardless, Dan Anker officially calls Cody Rhodes still the undisputed WWE champion. Let's go back to the replay here, to your point, towards the tail end of this match. Thrown off into the Cody cutter. That was a great counter, by the way, out of the sleeper. Then Cody hooked Gunther again for a second crossroads. Now watch the position of Gunther's left side of his body. Let's look again at this crossroads replay here and notice the positioning of Gunther close to the bottom rope. Cody hooked the near leg.
His foot was under the rope for the first two.
Yeah, let's look at another angle here. I think we got legit beef here. Again, though, watch the referee, though. Yeah, it was literally underneath the bottom rope, that whole count before he even started the one. Referee, poor position, poor decision. But Cody Rhodes is still declared undisputed WWE champion.
Gunther's arguing with the ref now.
He's got a legitimate gripe. I don't blame him. And unfortunately, he's a victim of circumstance by the referee's position.
Conspiracy theories.
Damn, green shirt guy got to Italy.
Well, regardless, Gunther leaves defeated, and Cody Rhodes still leaves undisputed WWE champion.
Denise Salcedo's over there, too. I saw her post earlier.
Well, but Denise makes the money to go there. She may have even gotten comped for media coverage, but like green shirt guy is a fan.
Shout out to the hardest working woman I know of in the professional wrestling business and a saint of this business, Denise Salcedo. Hope she has a great time. And again, congratulations to Cody Rhodes, still the holder of the undisputed WWE title. With everybody saying LA Knight, who's also taking out festivities from the audience. Yeah.
Dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
Trying to get set up. I'm working on it. There we go.
You're all good. As of course,
What's
we
up,
have
everybody?
superstars taking in the festivities. Judgment Day, of course. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, Montez Ford.
Isn't Liv actually of Italian descent?
What?
What? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Liv is Italian, isn't she?
That'd be news to me.
Roxy and Liv are all going there. Raquel's just like, I'm not having this shit. I don't want. What am I fucking naming?
I'm about to say she's Latina. Latina and Italian's a whole different conversation.
I know one person who's half Italian and isn't booked. Fucking Julia, who was just your United States champion a few months ago.
Yep.
Yeah, you know.
Yep. You know, it is what it is. WWE, LOL. I'm just going to leave it there. As we got our first commercial break, screw WWE streaming services. All right, we got a moment to breathe here, at least 3 or 5 minutes, because that's what WWE does. And yes, Walter, you are right. Liv Morgan is actually of Italian descent. She was born and raised in Fairmouth, New Jersey, though, but her family heritage traces back to Italy, much like the virtuosa Diana Perazzo. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and let everyone else get their thoughts in with the opening match. Jeff? Cody won. Cody's the WWE champion. I don't think no one's surprised by it, but the way they went about the finish, you know they're going to prolong this rivalry situation because of it.
It is what it is. You knew they weren't going to have for lack of a better term, a clean finish. I mean, it's still, Cody, there was no cheating other than the bottom under the front of the rope thing, but they weren't going to have a clean finish on what is not a Big 4, Big 5 when there's meat on the bone of the feud. So this one will probably go into SummerSlam unless they have Gunther and Brock still, on the plan. Hi, we moved. Hello. There we go. I don't know what happened there. I'm not sure why that happened. Give me a second.
All right. Well, okay, that being said, though, JJ, to Jeff's point, I witnessed the Lane General winning his first World Championship at SummerSlam, of course, back in 2024, before it was 2 nights. The last one, actually, in Cleveland. So, very well, that could be good for a stage to rise to the occasion. But then SummerSlam's kind of been his undoing and his crowning. Crowning, undoing. This year, it very well could be his crowning again. So, with those spots brought up by Jeff, what do you think?
I don't think it's as much a fact of they weren't going to give us a definitive end at a non-Big 4, Big 5 show. I think it was that they knew they were walking into Europe and the reaction that Walter was probably going to receive.
Right.
So they didn't want to just do a clean Cody dust some finish with all of those, for lack of a better term, home crowd fans for the Reign General. They might have had a legitimate riot on their hands. So having there be a shady finish for a non-undisputed championship, I think was a good way to go, because now Gunther has a legitimate gripe. He can show the footage to Adam Pearce on Raw or to Nick Aldis on SmackDown and try to get a rematch, and one would be justified.
Yes.
And ironically, the next PLE we're going to have is another international PLE when we do Night of Champions.
Yeah, from Saudi Arabia. So, again, international flavor galore. Well, with that being said, Walter, do you think Cody Rhodes will acknowledge the fact that tonight, I think many people would say that he escaped the Ring General with referees just, impaired vision? Because, again, he was clearly underneath the bottom rope. He broke contact. That was a clear, defined, non-legal pin there. So, again, it's one of those legit gripes. Now, we haven't seen one of these type of legit gripe situations, though, with a world championship for quite a while. And Cody Rhodes being a man that says he would never turn heel. To be QB1, sometimes you got to play a little bit dirty. And let's not forget, this kid was once underneath the tutelage of Nature Boy Ric Flair, if not his father, being the greatest rival of Nature Boy Ric Flair. So, Walter, what do you think about this outcome? And will Cody honor Gunther with a rematch, or will Gunther force it?
I think Gunther will force it, but to JJ's point, I think they're probably going to put that in the story where Cody actually tells him, "You're the ring general, and I outsmarted you. Quit your bitching," type thing. Like he admits things that he does. He just flips it on people. So I think he's going to admit it and just say, "I was outsmarted. Wrong place, wrong time. It doesn't matter." Why does my thing say commercial, but the ad isn't counting down? It's just frozen.
Because that's what ESPN does. Hello.
No, because mine is showing a Club WWE advertisement.
Mine's showing
that's
that
an
now.
advertisement.
Yeah.
So his may actually be frozen, like he may have to exit out and come back in.
Oh.
Yeah, mine said Clash of Italy ad break and then had a countdown, but the countdown wasn't moving. But then it jumped to the WWE club thing.
Yeah, same.
That's weird. I actually had commercials the whole time.
Yeah. And there's each other. There we're back. We're good.
Yeah, we're back in Turin, Italy. As you can see, a beautiful skyline over this one-of-a-kind, unique, first-time experience here for the WWE universe. And, of course, my roots and my heritage and my family also go back to Italy. Known for, of course, its refined history, agriculture, and cuisine. Pretty close to the Alps, actually, as they are a little bit northwest of the city. And speaking of things to come, there you see the ruler, Femi, once again getting ready for another rematch with what he believes is his final chapter in this story. And I can only hope that this is the final chapter of this story where I don't want to see this storm come again. Coming up next, WWE Women's Undisputed Championships on the line as Rhea Ripley defends the gold against Jade Cargill for the second time. A WrestleMania rematch. As of course, we look back at what brought us here. Again, there's a reason why they didn't go with Rio on Monday Night Raw, folks, as much as you wanted to see that happen. SmackDown did not have the must-see appeal or the fighting champion it needed. So what did they do? They wanted to enlist some brutality. It took a whole lot of baddies to try and help Jade Cargill through this to make sure that this disaster of Mother Nature continues to lead. However, thanks to EO getting involved, Rhea Ripley was able to rise to the occasion again, as we've seen so much in Mommy's career. Era quo, Mommy's back on top. And of course, the following night after WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw, Rhea bid EO goodbye, and now she's on SmackDown to bring the brutality forward. But Jade Cargill definitely did not want to once again be on the receiving end of a riptide without a receipt. Since then, and since we've seen a fatal influence arrive on SmackDown, Jade Cargill is once again putting herself back in the championship picture with her rematch. And she's earned this rematch to a degree after pinning Rhea Ripley again at Saturday night's main event in a miscellaneous 6-woman tag. Regardless, Jade Cargill looks to once again prove why she is that B, and she's ready to once again send Rhea Ripley packing with one emphatic Jaded. So once again, does the storm rise to the occasion, or does Mommy bring her brutality and continue to hold the championship as we get ready for this women's match next? Because let's be honest here, when it's just those two, Rhea Ripley's the better. When Jade Cargill has that backup with that distraction factor, Jade Cargill has gotten the better of Rhea. I will give her that.
JJ, I want to ask you before I dip out. You've been actually both of us on the right side have been the Jade Cargill fans for sure, but the Jade Cargill in WWE experiment, now that she's not the champion anymore and she's challenging, she's got backup, is it working? Or is this match the key? If she loses the championship match, what happens now? Is Jade Cargill working in WWE?
I think it is. I mean, yes, they definitely carried a lot of the AEW presentation over.
Yes.
The music is very reminiscent of her AEW theme. She's now got her baddies with her.
Right.
And, if we're being honest, I can take or leave BFAB. But any reason to get Mia Yim on my TV on a weekly basis, I am in favor of.
Yes.
I would rather she stand alone. I would rather she had defeated Chelsea Green for the United States Championship.
Agreed.
Instead of Julia. and they could have traded it back and forth because there was already that rivalry there.
Yes.
But whatever needs to be done to make sure that Mia Yim is not in that next group of cuts, considering like 90% of the people that Walter and I met in Vegas from WWE got cut that week.
Right.
Let's keep that, happening because and to her credit, she told us to keep using Mia Yim when we speak about her because she wants that fucking name back. She's over.
Thank the Lord she realizes that.
Well, she never really wanted to change it, but she picked the nickname because it had some kind of meaning to her. But she wants Mia Yim back.
Yes.
And she acknowledged that to us. So it's just like any reason to keep her on my TV, I'll take it. And is she somebody I would have picked for one of Jade's baddies? She probably wouldn't have been my first choice, but I think she fits.
Oh, she does.
I could see Jade walking out of here with the belt.
Okay.
And like I told Noah on Simply Predicting, it's been a minute since we had two champions trade the belt back and forth during a feud.
Yes.
The last one I can really think of is Sammy Guevara and Scorpio Sky over the TNT title.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
As far as most recent, you're probably right, but what you're basically doing is you're trading a supernova for a dwarf star as Rhea Ripley arrives in Italy. But nonetheless, I can understand what you mean.
That depends on your outlook because there are people that like Jade. Jade is not going to be the in-ring performer of Rhea Ripley, of Io Sky. However, she ticks virtually every other box.
I think to Noah's point, Jade Cargill definitely has that superstar appearance, presentation. The difference is Rhea Ripley is a superstar. And that's WWE machine behind her, 100% agree. But Rhea has leaned into it so hard. And again, she was talking about it on Stephanie's podcast. She's not this. The Rhea is the person on screen. She's energetic. She's fiery. She's a little crazy. But there's still the fan in there singing her own song on the way to the ring. She has everything going for her, and she's still a fan. Jade Cargill admittedly did not start out as a fan, but she's been presented with this aura, both in AEW and in WWE. So I think Rhea is a superstar and has been for quite a while. I was there for that moment at WrestleMania 3 years ago. I think that's really what
WrestleMania moment, as we talked about, Jeff.
I think that's what sent her onto that next level. I don't think Jade winning will put her on that level, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. And I think that not so much damage control needs to be done with Jade Cargill's WWE presentation, but there just needs to be something meaningful to happen relatively soon.
And I think that's why they keep pairing these two together to try to get Rhea to rub it off. And Jade doesn't look bad against Rhea. It's like because they kind of like the same body and everything, Jade actually looks good against her. And I feel like that's why they keep pairing these two together. So to get her to that next level. And Jade might not be the best in-ring person, but she damn sure gets the business. She's one of the few that's still trying to keep kayfabe alive. I saw her last interview. She was like, she don't sign autographs or anything because she's supposed to be a heel. She wants you to think she's a bitch. She said, to be honest, the only person she would sign for is like maybe a kid. Like, but other than that, like she tries to keep kayfabe alive outside the ring.
All right, guys, I'm gonna bow out. You do your thing. I'll see you after.
Appreciate you, Jeff, as always. Thank you for the pre-match analysis. Jade Cargill, for those that don't know, 30 years of age, 5 years involved in this game, trained by the likes of AR Fox, QT Marsh, Nightmare Fatty, and, of course, the WWE system and the Dungeon 2.0 by Natty Neidhart. Rhea Ripley, of course, from Australia, 29 years of age, 12 years involved in this game, trained by the likes of Chris Basso, created Matt Basso, of course, of RCW Academy, and, of course, Sarah Amato. Much to Jeff's point, Rhea Ripley became the star of WWE after getting a career-defining win against the Queen, Charlotte Flair, at WrestleMania, creating her own throne of brutality. Jade Cargill is still trying to build a foundation of it, and a win tonight very well might lead in the right direction. But I sense that this storm is going to go different ways for winds of change here in the SmackDown Women's division. The bell rings. We're underway for this WrestleMania rematch. And again, tail of the tape, similar body size, similar build, probably similar strength factors. But we saw the nerves come out in Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. We saw the stutter steps. Rhea Ripley has become accustomed to this pressure, accustomed to this stage. And I think Jade Cargill learned a lot from her first encounter. And we'll see if she found the key to victory tonight. Connor will tie up here with Rhea and Jade going.
You also have to remember this about Jade. She's still learning. Pretty much, if you look at her AEW run, to put it metaphorically, Jade was thrown in the deep end and was like, here, learn to swim. Like, she basically had to do it kind of backwards rather than training and going through undercards and going through like an NXT type equivalent and going. She was just thrown in the deep end and was like, learn to swim. So, like, you got to forgive some of the stuff. You know what I mean? You have to grade her on a curve.
Still in a Continental top, they're going, rising knees, the midsection, slapping the taste out of mommy's mouth. Now, Rhea Ripley, of course, is one woman you don't want to get on the bad side of. Facebuster over the knee, follow up, swinging a miss with the lariat. Jade hoisting up Rhea. Nice power slam by Jade Cargill. Lands Ripley in the middle of the ring. Now a little bit of a showing off here, trying to get inside the champion's head or maybe try to boost her own confidence. Oh! And Rhea Ripley will not be insulted or intimidated.
Jade Steiner over there.
Now, how if you hear that? Sidestep. Jade sent to the outside ring. Of course, Tiger Jane's hands via pinfall submission inside the ring. Wrecking ball drop kick between the ropes by Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, of course, as I said, multiple-time WWE Women's World Champion. Now a two-time WWE Women's World Champion. Went for the rolling cannonball. Jade catching her, though, with an elbow. Impressive by Jade, catching Rhea Ripley out of the forward somersault. Oh, man! Driving her down face first on the apron. And, of course, Rhea Ripley has had a busted nose previously after their run-ins, of course, with the Kabuki Warriors.
Oh!
Jeez!
That was actually pretty cool. She made her bounce off the rope and into her knee. That was actually kind of...
And double impact, the whiplash effect off those ropes that are still cables, to your point, immediately into Jade Cargill's knee. And Jade might be looking to bust the face of brutality here, besides taking the title. At the end of the day, Jade Cargill's got to feel a little bit embarrassed that she literally lost on the grandest stage of them all in her first singles championship match, going in as champion. That's the moment every W superstar thrives for, not only to go in as, but succeed. Jade Cargill didn't do that, so you know Jade Cargill's boiling over.
You mentioned a broken nose, and right after that, freaking Jade did that move.
And crowd in Italy basically letting them know how they feel about Jade Cargill tonight in their own native language. Rhea Ripley, now a two-time WWE Women's Champion, and of course, former two-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. Former NXT UK, former NXT, and of course, former Raw Women's Champion. She's pretty much completed the gauntlet before the mid-card titles came into existence. And in Italy right now, heavily behind Rhea Ripley, as everybody loves mommy. Doesn't matter what language or what region of the world you're in.
And remember, I mean, Rhea's from Australia, but she's really Italian. Her grandmother emigrated from Italy to Australia.
Go ahead, Jay.
I just want to point something out here. A lot of haters out there on the internet still try to say that women don't draw. Our viewership doubled since tweeting out that this match has started. More than doubled. Think about that.
Oh, man, hard outs moving in the corner to Rhea
Beautiful
Ripley.
camera angle. Go back to that other camera angle there. Walter
Right,
would like
right.
that one too.
Right?
Oh,
What the hell?
stop that. Now grabbing the small of her lower back here. Ripley right now in serious trouble here.
Beautiful snap suplex by Jade. Nice float over into the pin. Got a 2 count there. Off
Look at
it.
this guy start calling his favorite girls match in WWE. I was about to say,
Look,
what are you going to
look,
start calling?
to your point a moment ago, okay, I was multitasking. I was putting out a tweet about this match. And now that the tweet is out, I've turned my attention back to the match. Okay, I'm trying to be producer, man, and commentator. Give me a little bit of a break, bro.
I'm messing with you. Shoot, someone has to mess with you. Can you juggle two hats? Can Jade Cargill juggle the second chance and make an accomplish out of it? Both those questions.
There's definitely two things I can juggle, but that's a whole other story.
I can't. Jade Cargill right now in control of the champion. And Rhea, capoeira kick almost from underneath, catching Jade Cargill in the midsection. Now fighting back into this with the knife-edge chops, driving Jade to the corner, looking for the Irish whip reversal by the challenger. Hard again, and the turnbuckles goes Rhea.
Before I moved from Connecticut, I should apply to be a cameraman, damn it.
You know, this might be an off-the-cuff hot take comparison, but sit with me on this. I think that Jade and Rhea's rivalry is very similar to Trish and Lita in the early days. And I say that because let's not forget that when Trish came to WWF, she came in as a fitness model. Very little wrestling experience. Working with Lita in those early days, especially in 6-person tags with like TNA and the Hardys, and working with Lita got Trish some of those reps to improve in the ring to where Trish could go on to arguably become one of the greatest women of all time. Will Jade reach that level? Remains to be seen. But her being in the ring with Rhea, I think Rhea is akin to Lita in this situation.
Yep.
I think she's finally found that perfect opponent that can really bring the best out of her. And you've seen it both at Mania and now here at Clash in Italy so far, because this has arguably been one of Jade's best performances.
Definitely one of her most competitive right now. She's missing that elbow drop as Rhea rolls out of the way. And the jury is out whether or not you get the satisfaction from Jade like Trish Stratus did, where she was already highly accomplished in the youngness length of her career versus Jade. But nonetheless, I can kind of see the references. And, of course, Rhea has talked about all the influences that, of course, inspired her, which she didn't want to be the same platinum blonde cover girl that the WWE trope used to really focus and enforce the likes of. She wanted to do things her own way, develop her own identity, and be herself. But she's spoken ad nauseum since she came back in that second Mae Young Classic. And Rhea right now regaining control of this match.
Just Jade being on my TV is satisfaction enough, but that's a whole other point, right, Walter?
Yep. Miss and Rhea Ripley with a suplex.
Trish did it so well that you tend to forget her in-ring career was only like 7 years, dude. But like, she made it look like it was like 10, 15-year career because of her comebacks and stuff. But like, her legit first run was only like 7 years, and she did all that.
Mm-hmm.
And Rhea Ripley bringing Jade back inside the ring after finally catching her with the cannonball off the apron. Now going up to the
Gorgeous
top rope.
drop kick by Mommy.
Big and missile drop kick. And the cover. Hook the near leg. Back press kick on it too by Jade.
This time Mommy flew from the top.
Take a look at the replay here. Freaking Flyer Miles International. Taking a high risk. Rhea Ripley doesn't normally do that type of move.
That I add a lot of points to the credit card, Miles.
Of course, falling hard on her back, and of course that back's been heavily worked over in this match with all those Irish whips and power slams. As you saw, Rhea was favoring her lower back after delivering that move, and after Jade Cargill kicked out of that pitting maneuver. Now trying to hoist her up on the shoulder, possibly for a dominator. Jade able to escape though, and Jade with the back body drop to Rhea Ripley.
I think she was trying to set up the
there's that combo kick connected fully.
Yeah, I think she was trying to set up that mommy's edge, like Damian Priest's razor edge that she borrowed.
Yeah, shout out to the Terror Twins. And, of course, the Terror Twins are on the same brand, both as champions. Right now, both these women, though, down for the time being here in this WrestleMania rematch for the WWE Women's Championship.
Yes, he's awesome.
I'm surprised you speak Italian, Walter.
Both women head-to-head on their hands and knees.
Face to
We'll
face.
just leave that there. We'll let Walter hit the puns in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill almost willing each other back into this fight, just teeing off right now, trading forearms and heavy right hands. Center of the ring. We got a slugfest here.
If you understand Spanish, you can understand Italian. The words are so, and Portuguese. The words are just
I'm
so
about to say,
similar.
wrestling doesn't have a language barrier. We've already talked about that. Went for the pump kick, able to sidestep. Went for the high kick, able to miss. Now trying to trap the arms to hoist her up. Swinging a miss by Jade, though. Rhea, though, catching her with the drop kick. Sidestep by Jade. Went for the knee strike again. Set him. Oh, and a headbutt right underneath the jaw.
That was a
And Jade might be on her feet,
balls.
looking for the pump handle. Jade finds Beth, though. Back elbow strike as Jade knows that danger of the riptide. Whoa, jumping kick. Drops Jade to a knee.
That headbutt is dangerous, dude. To the person giving it and the person receiving it.
And once again, we'll work out this time. Hoist her up for position for the Razor's Edge. Shining Wizard connects. Now the hook on the far leg side. Press kick on at 2 by Jade.
Bro, when the hell has Rhea ever hit a Shining Wizard? What the hell?
Without all the stops here tonight, shout out to Nixon. Shout out to Nixon Newell. You're saying, JJ.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rhea's pulling out shit that she doesn't usually have to because Jade is that strong of a competitor. She's making Jade look like a beast.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm hoping that she tames this beast here, and I don't know how many beasts actually are on the streets of Italy, but we'll see soon enough who wins this.
Brock Lesnar is there still. Let's not forget that.
As
is Femi, the ruler.
Well, ruler, beast, two different animals of the animal kingdom. Up on the shoulders. Jade trying to hook Rhea Ripley up and over the top. Whoa! And Rhea somehow landed on her feet. Still has Jade Cargill in position. And electric chair now face first on the apron.
Hardest part of the ring. Ooh, that would have busted.
How the hell did Rhea Ripley maintain hold of that position? And the cover hook of the far leg turn return kick out at 2.5 by Jade.
The strength of both women. That's crazy.
You can see the beads from Jade's outfit scattered across the ring. They keep falling off her with almost every slam.
The fact of the matter that Rhea Ripley maintained a vertical position with all of that pressure driving down her lower back and delivering that offense to Jade Cargill. Incredible resilience.
It's like Sonic getting the coin slapped out of him.
Right?
First off, it's rings, dude. Botch. And I'm going to botch you as a video gamer. Shame on you. Looking for the riptide. Up and over. And once again, got her hooked. Nope. Able to escape again. Trapping the arm. Same way she got her WrestleMania. She escaped this time, though. And DDT.
Oh, shit.
Beautiful DDT counter there by that bitch.
I've never seen the Riptide get countered into a DDT. That was awesome.
And Jade Cargill rolls over into the corner. Rhea gets the shoulder up at 2.
Look at this again. Just boom, so fluid.
You talk about video games. Somebody spammed the reverse button right there.
Well, again, Jade Cargill knows how Rhea Ripley delivered that at WrestleMania. Clearly, she learned a thing or two. And as I talk about in this business, a defeat is not necessarily a defeat if you don't learn something from it. And clearly, Jade has learned a lot from Rhea Ripley. And again, Rhea out of the corner, though, as Jade was on the run.
Thunderbomb.
Got up and, shut down the blood funnel cover. 2 shoulders.
Don't even count. Don't even count.
I love you, Walter.
Again, put a bomb without rotation.
Over the shoulders.
Yeah. This is why also to the point you see how like they're scared to take each other's finisher because it's so devastating. That's why finisher shouldn't be over spam because see they're both telling the story that once they hit the finisher the match is over. That's why Jade is so careful to not get hit by the Riptide and Rhea is just not letting Jade hit her move. Because the finishing move is devastating. But when you keep spamming it and overdoing it, you lose that aura of the finisher, being a finisher.
Well, there's more of a finisher, and then there's the drive of your adrenaline to your health bar hits 0. Either way, you do go one route to victory. And we've seen across both companies here. And we are seeing Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill go to a different realm. Sweep that win tonight. And possibly, Walter, you might be on to something here. She drives Jade Cargill face first in the top of the ring post. Shades of what she did to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39. And position avalanche back body drop.
Back drop and knock the rings off of her again.
Backdrop suplex. Rhea crawls to the cover. Hook the far leg. Turn attack. Kick out 2 by Jade.
Dude, Jade's putting on a match. Well, both of them are.
Telling y'all, stop sleeping on my girl.
I said it all the time. That's why I said they keep pairing these two up because Rhea brings the best out of her.
Well, Rhea Ripley right now needs to focus here because here comes. Oh, great. Here comes the
The
trash
Timu
posse.
baddies, as Noah calls them, making their appearance.
And of course, Sky's nowhere to be found now as Rhea Ripley is on her own on SmackDown. Again, distracted. One shot, a pump kick by Jade. Rhea should have expected this. Now hoisted up and got you. No, roll through. Double stomp to the midsection.
Uh-oh.
Says
There it
emergency by
comes.
Rhea Ripley now, knowing that outside interference is looming. Hooking to hook up Jade for a riptide.
Too close to the ropes, I guarantee
And
it.
Jade will hook the near leg, and to your point, the baddies with the save. Blatantly in front of the official, though.
Damn, B-Fab, you can't grab a leg?
That's why she's not wrestling the match.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she got caught, so referee in per position that time as the baddies just got ejected.
Yep, as quickly as they entered the match, and now they're gone.
I knew by position alone she was too close to the ropes, that there was going to be a foot on the rope.
Now Rhea, though, taking her attention away from Jade Cargill, focusing on beef and Mitch from the outside.
The Queen!
What?
Crossbody blocked by Charlotte Flair.
Crossbody off the barricade. I remember that face-to-face on SmackDown where Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley talked about we had to remove the Jade Cargill problem before we could focus on the fatal influence incident. And Charlotte Flair neutralized the badge, but Jade Cargill tried to convince Rhea Ripley inside the ring. Rhea just got
shit! No, now Rhea's too close to the ropes.
Look at the narrow leg by Jade, and Charlotte Flair puts the foot on the barbell, saving Rhea first this moment.
Oh, shit.
Jade Cargill's made more than one enemy on the SmackDown women's roster this year, folks.
Rhea and Mommy on the same page.
This is what Alexa Bliss was trying to achieve as Jade Cargill hooks her Ripley for a choke save and escape. What another headbutt! Finish her, damn it! Now the platform hooking her up.
Away from the ropes.
Next. Pretzel, cover. Rhea Ripley retains the championship.
But let's see if Charlotte's going to win a title match as a thank you.
I'm in for it. But that being said, congrats to Rhea Ripley retaining the WWE Women's Championship. And of all people to come with the assist, her greatest rival, Charlotte Flair.
I kind of want to see Charlotte and Jade feud over the U.S. title and try to make that important.
Well, anyway, still the kind of 9 live on Clash Nearly. As of course, that was the first time we have Tribal Common for the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns versus Fatu, Brock Lesnar versus Femi 2, and of course, Ruca versus Becky Lynch from WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. As we got another commercial break, FW streaming services. We let the rest of the game talk. Commendable match by both women. The result remains the same. The result, of course, hard driven down, but hey, Jade Cargill neutralized by both Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. I'm for it. She's made her fair share of enemies out of both of them, especially after the assault to Alexa Bliss. That segment on SmackDown last night was very telling when it came to such an unstudied ground with the Queen and the bringer up brutality since Rhea became champion again and came back to SmackDown. So again, a fitting way to end this feud, and once again, the storm has been pushed away. Let's go ahead and give everyone else's thoughts here. Jeff, your thoughts on that?
Testing, new audio. So I'm just making sure.
You're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, I am all here for the crossbody and all denim from the Queen. Let's go.
I'll say.
Every time I appear on camera these days, it seems to be the phrase that comes out my mouth because I'm so rarely on camera with everybody a lot, apparently. Since she's come back, Charlotte's attitude, her presentation, everything has improved 1,000%. And she looked great in the balancing out act tonight. And Rhea and Jade had a great outing. You're not going to be able to follow something like Cody and Gunther because that's got just so much prestige to it with the WWE Championship. I will say, though, can we maybe have one match tonight now that we're going to go on ESPN Unlimited without some sort of foot on the rope bullshit the rest of the night? Can we maybe do that today? Maybe.
Well, considering we still got Becky Lynch, I think you are in for another reoccurrence. I'm just going to leave it at that. But again, commendable match by both. I definitely respect what they
100%.
both brought and what they followed. And again, Rhea Ripley, there's a reason why the phrase goes, mommy's always on top.
I just wanted to point out real quick before we get that out, this is the first time I get to appear with the Simply Reliable Studios in the new digs. So I am very happy to be where I'm at, I am 3 miles from work as opposed to 50. So I am here for this setup. I've been on No DQ. Oh, no, was I on No DQ this week? No. I think it's the first stream I've done here. I don't remember if I was on No DQ. No, I wasn't No DQ Tuesday, but I was at home. So yeah, this is the first stream I've done here, period. So there you guys go. So I'll be on with you guys today. I should be on the review Tuesday, and I think I'm on Greg's show Wednesday. So yeah, all the things this week. But I'm happy to be part of this. It's always cool to watch WWE. Walter, I think Walter mentioned during the pre-show when I was trying to get set up here, these international crowds are a whole other animal, and they always bring the energy. They're singing the champion to the ring. They're singing the challenger to the ring in the opening match. They're into everything. This is the first PLE in Italy, so these guys and gals are starved. They want their WWE. They want their premium events. Exactly. And, us jaded American fans, it's 5 matches, it's rematch. The energy's there. So, I'm not so jaded, and I'm not jaded for a lot of reasons these days. Thank God for that. But I will say I am not spoiled enough that I cannot appreciate what's happening in Turin, right? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Turin, Italy. You got it.
Turin, Italy. I love it. I love it. I'm enjoying the whole thing. I love it.
Well,
I know Walter's happily married, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind being jaded every now and then, but that's a whole other story.
That's a whole other show, that's for sure. Yeah.
I did want to ask you, sir, now that you've popped in, did you hear my comparison during the call of Rhea and Jade to Trish and Lita? And if so,
I did not. I did not hear that, but
my thought process is that Rhea is to Jade what Lita was to Trish, especially in the early stages of their career. The 6-mans with TNA and Trish versus the Hardys and Lita, when Trish had basically no experience in a wrestling ring, and Lita was used to bring the best out of Trish. Rhea in both these matches has really, in my opinion, brought the best out of Jade, and this match was even better than their Mania match.
I'll give you that.
Okay. I thought you had verbally typoed. I thought you were trying to say Rhea and Charlotte, because that's how it feels to me. Like Rhea and Charlotte started as enemies on screen, and they're kind of like tenuously moving into this unofficial partnership. But I definitely see the comparison there.
They're not friends.
They're not friends. They're not friends. That's very clear.
Put that out
but I will say that. But I do agree with the comparison. Like I said before we started the match, Jade, even now, as long as she's been in with WWE, she's still not got that massive in-ring experience yet. And that only comes with experience. It only comes with being in the ring, with less house shows, with less time in the ring other than when you're on television or on PLE. And I don't know if Jade's in the performance center or working out anywhere, other than at the events. It has to come, and that's how it's going to appear, with being in the ring with people like Rhea Ripley, who are just going to elevate you, people like Charlotte Flair, who are just going to elevate you. The women on this WWE roster, people will say what they will about WWE creative and everything that's going on right now, but the roster is fucking stacked. The women's division especially still. I think there are a lot of such talented, amazing performers in this women's division, and we're seeing some amazing athletes from across Italy right now in the crowd at ringside, so that's awesome. I love seeing that. Although they cannot interrupt my freaking shows during the day with the damn soccer. That'd be great. Thanks. Love you guys, but let's be real. I think JJ Spearson is spot on. Perfect. I don't know if it's going to be the end of it. It'll definitely probably be at least one more match in this particular series. But I think you're right, JJ. I think Rhea and Jade are Batman and Joker. They're destined to do this forever because they're going to keep elevating Jade, and they'll keep Rhea sharp as a knife.
I still don't trust Charlotte. At the end of the day, her last name is Flair. I'm not going to fully trust.
That's a fair point. And at the end of the day, there's one queen.
Just because her dad can't help it almost through her brother, it's a whole other family dynamic going on. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, when the name Flair is associated with the dirtiest player in the game, I can understand Walter's point. Like, it's hard to trust a Flair.
It 100% is. 100% is. Even when Rick was a babyface in the day, it's like, okay, when are we, right? It didn't stop happening until long closer to the retirement, right? And even then, when he went to TNA, he couldn't help himself. So,
no, he couldn't. And he tried to make AJ Styles into that, and then he tried to create a fortune. So, I mean, it is what it is during that period of time.
AJ Flair was something I wish I could have the Men in Black come and just neuralize out of my brain forever.
Hell, the neuralizer just gouge the eyes out for that first 6 months of 2010. Just no.
I still want to be able to see, but just you do not remember AJ Flair.
If only it was that simple, JJ.
And AJ Cage also, when he was Christian's bitch. When he was Tom
I remember that.
Bitch.
It's a classic.
When he was third fiddle to fucking
think about
Christian
that.
Tom
Think
Cole.
about that.
Yes.
For y'all at home that were not a part of that, first of all, be fucking grateful. Second of all, AJ Styles, arguably the best performer of this generation. This generation, Shawn Michaels, was third fucking tier to Christian Cage. All respect to Christian Cage, Father of the Year, one of the greatest of all time.
Oh,
and Tyson motherfucking Tompkins. I can't just say it.
Like, I could understand being second to Christian because he was the guy they were pushing as the main eventer.
Of course.
He had the big company experience for AJ to sit under the learning tree of. But to play underneath Tomko?
And the fact that he reveled
that would
in
be
it,
like sitting underneath Kurt Angle and Luther Reigns and then AJ Styles. And we all know Luther Reigns was Kurt's bitch.
The Extreme Camera knows for sure. That's without question.
Speaking of No DQ, go to nodq.com where you can read not just one, but 2 articles penned by yours truly.
There you go.
Another one got posted this morning.
Congratulations.
Much like the theme songs of the early 2000s, the evolution of the relationship with No DQ is not a mystery. It's awesome. I love it. I think that's great. I love it.
But it is full of change that no one sees
Look
until
at
it
this
actually
shit.
breathes. That being said, let's get ready to
Big
get this
fight
vendetta.
feel.
It's time for Ultimate Femi versus Brock Lesnar 2. Oh boy, JJ!
Well, here comes the pain.
I've been waiting a long
I
effing
love
time
it.
to hear
I
you
love
say
it.
it when I thought it would never be said again. But that point, it's the Beast Brock Lesnar!
This isn't a
Brock
match. This is a
Lesnar-
fucking fight.
Brock
Go ahead,
Lesnar
Jeff.
walking out on ESPN for a fight just like legitimizes the ever-loving shit out of this. You know what I mean? Like,
For the
I
second time,
agree.
might I add. But the last time he
Yeah.
went out for a fight, Jeff, he was decimated in less
Yes.
than 6 minutes over freaking domination brought by Femi. And tonight, what we thought was literally a retirement might very well be a resurrection of the Beast Incarnate. As we're using an Italian word, Brock Lesnar and Femi are both looking for a vendetta. Neither man's looking for a win. Both men are looking for an end. It's just a matter of who's going to go more lethal towards that end tonight.
And
You know,
especially
for
when-
the-
that's like Brock's fucking UFC gear on top of that.
no, it is. Brock Lesnar, this isn't Cowboy Brock. This isn't freaking, jumping off of forklifts and, smiling happy shit. This is Brock motherfucking Lesnar walking to this fight. And I will say, for the 4 years that Roman Reigns was on top, people, make the joke, I want somebody to look at me the way that Paul Heyman looks at Roman Reigns. No, I want somebody to look at me the way that Paul Heyman looks at Brock Lesnar. Okay. Paul
Yes.
Heyman is an absolute worship of this man. And he's smiling,
Yes.
but then he gets that face of like, dude, this boy's about to fuck shit up. And I'm here for every
Yes.
bit of it. And I'm here to advocate for this badass.
I was just going to say, in the words of Lita's original theme, just something about seeing Paul Heyman alongside Brock Lesnar, it just feels right.
It really does. At the end of the day,
JJ.
yeah, at the end of the day, Jeff, you know this as well as I do. Brock Lesnar is Paul Heyman's number one Paul Heyman guy. He brought this young man, this young farm boy into WWE who literally rose immediately to absolute promise and the WWE Championship. Ever since then, the only thing synonymous with Brock Lesnar is champion conqueror. But for the first time in what we cannot even fathom since, as we look at the tail of the tape, Brock Lesnar has been literally ruled by a ruler. As you look at the tail of the tape, folks, look at the difference here. There is less than an inch in height. There are 20 pounds of difference as far as weight goes. Reach and chest literally are marginal here. This is the definition of a world heavyweight fight.
This is a heavyweight fight. No, you said it yourself. And it's funny. You talked about the relationship, JJ, with Heyman and Lesnar. Just think, when Lesnar was in OVW and coming up and doing dark matches on the main roster shows, and Taz is sitting there at ringside, and he calls Heyman, he goes, Paul, you got to do something. They don't know what they got with this kid. If not for Taz, and people know I don't always praise Taz, Lord knows, but Taz not calling Paul Heyman 24 years ago and going, oh my God, like, do something. We don't have this unbelievable phenomenon that is Brock Lesnar, the conqueror of the streak, the decimator in front of God and everybody, including me, of John Cena. But he said in the hype video, this is a humble retiree. This man was completely humiliated in the biggest fight city in the world. Vegas is UFC country. Vegas is the fight capital of the world. It has been for as long as I can remember. And Lesnar got punked out in under 10 minutes, whatever it was, at WrestleMania in Vegas. And now you've got this guy, Femi, who I believe I was the person, and I could be wrong, who coined this guy day one. Bad motherfucker. He's got to prove it again tonight.
Listen to the crowd. Like, you tell me
Crowd
ain't a goddamn star.
He's O-V-E-R, Walter.
I think you mean OVA, as Oba is Ova. But that being said,
yes.
Oba Femi is also the man, to your point, that literally conquered the Beast Incarnate and truly cemented his spot as WWE's ruler. But since WrestleMania, it's almost like pretty much he's been having everybody bow down to him, realize his presence. Nobody opposed him. And the one that opposed him was the very man that he took this spot from, Brock Lesnar. It's a very rare occasion that we find Brock Lesnar considered the underdog in any fighter, any match in his respective career in WWE. And I very much would say, despite the fact he hit Oba Femi with 4 F5s consecutively and the ruler was still stirring, Brock is still the underdog tonight.
They're making this seem like I don't know if it's just because of me, but they're making this look like a UFC fight. I feel like I'm watching a heavyweight UFC fight right now.
I gotta be honest with you, Walter. I agree with you.
As I bow out, let me say this. It took 3 F5s, a concussion, and over a year and a half for The Undertaker to get his revenge on Brock Lesnar. Oba took 4 F5s and was back on TV a week later going, bring it on. This fight could be make or break for not just Oba Femi. Oba Femi's already the guy. Like he's clearly the path they're taking. Brock Lesnar, for the first time that I can remember, has something to prove here. It's wild.
He hasn't had something like that in a while. And if you believe in multiverses, Brock is pretty much staring at himself in a different multiverse.
No, if you can tell the tape, they're the same fighter, except Oba's in Brock's head. No doubt about it. Have fun, boys.
Thank you for that, Jeff. Let's go down to Alicia Taylor for the introductions for this match as Clash of the officially begins on ESPN Unlimited. Thank you all that are officially just now tuning in. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend as we get ready for the biggest rematch in WWE history. Biggest in quotations.
There is not a single fan not saying over right now in Italy, right? This is crazy.
Oh boy. Buckle up, folks. One fall.
It's not. Paul's asking for the mic.
Of course he is. No one promotes Brock Lesnar like Paul Heyman. It's Paul Heyman. That's the Del Florano. I think Paul Heyman just called Brock Lesnar literally the Beast Incarnate in Italian.
Yep, in Italian.
And to think this guy from Lagos, Nigeria, with no prior wrestling background, not even amateur, with literally a background in shot put, that broke out in JJ's NXT as one of the longest reigning NXT North American champions, record-setting time in his young career, becoming NXT champion, has been on the main roster now for 5 months. Oh! And immediately Brock Lesnar on the attack right there. Well, I'm not going to be able to get no tail of the tape here. Brock immediately on the attack. F5 connects in less than 30 seconds.
You realize Oba still puts that out there about the shot put. His necklace is pretty much little shot puts.
Another F5, 2 F5s in less than a damn minute. And to your point, Walter and Jade, you said to be predicting the one expectation here that Brock has in his favor. There is no surprise factor. Another F5, a relentless assault F5s by the Beast Incarnate.
He's gonna give him 4, and Oba's still gonna kick out. Watch.
Well, again, he gave him 4 on Monday Night Raw 2 weeks ago, and he told him to stay down, and Oba was still stirring. Another F5.
Cover him.
What the hell? And the Beast has been unleashed. Oba kicks out.
I knew it. I knew they were gonna do that.
What would have been great is if Oba had kicked out at 1.
Yeah, that would have made it even.
Then you cut to Paul Heyman with his jaw on the ground.
The one thing I also want to point out here, we have yet to see, as I was just about to call it, and Paul Heyman literally clearing my brain, Kimura lock applied. He has never let the Kimura in on Oba Femi. Oba Femi can survive the F5, but can he escape Brock Lesnar's lethal submission hold?
You guys
But
realize
Brock has to be careful to not have his shoulders down on the mat.
To your point, Walter.
Dangerous a Kimura really is. That thing can break your shoulder, your elbow, your wrist.
Ask Triple H about that. Not once, but twice. Ask Shawn Michaels about that. Ask The Undertaker, who nearly had his arm broken, about that.
And look how far from the ropes Oba is.
Again, Oba Femi right now is finding desperately to try and force the Beast Incarnate to relinquish this hold. But again, as you talked about, the body grapevine, perfect positioning, center of the ring. Oba Femi in a world right now. Very extremely rare circumstance to see Oba Femi at the risk of being submitted.
He's picking
and somehow
Brock Lesnar up.
Is literally picking up Brock Lesnar in the hold. Are you kidding me? 290 pounds planted.
Ow.
What a counter!
You actually do more damage to your own arm countering like that, but whatever.
Yeah, to your point, again, how many ligaments were literally torn apart during that countermeasure? And again, Brock Lesnar immediately trapping the arm, and Oba Femi grabbing the top rope, though. Japan senior official here in WWE right now, the official for this match. Oba trying to once again break the grip of the Beast, forcing Brock Lesnar into the turnbuckles. Brock Lesnar relentless, though, as Oba finally forces Brock to relinquish that hold.
Have either of you ever seen Brock like this desperate? Like, you can call it what you want, the F5s. It's desperation to me that's why he's doing the match that he's doing right now.
And hoisting up on the shoulders, to your point right now. Brock Lesnar will win another F5 connects.
And another kick out from Oba Femi.
Counter! And your point, JJ, what the hell is your freaking breakout tournament made of?
He's not doing this to prove dominance. He's literally desperate.
Take another look.
That is 5.
You might need a different count here tonight instead of suplexes. You might need to count how many F5s it will take to hit Italy for victory.
Literally
well, it's 4 so far, right?
Yeah, that's right, JJ. That's 5, I think, actually. Yeah, I think that was the 5th one. Oba once again back to his feet. Brock Lesnar hoists up Oba again. Up in the fireman's carry. Nope, counter. And again, Oba palm strike. And choke slam by Oba. And the cover. Side press in the front leg. Kick out 2 by Brock.
That was very Undertaker-esque choke slam.
You gotta consider also the damage done to that arm. Was he able to hold Brock Lesnar? Oh, man! As high as he wanted and drive him down as hard as he wanted in that choke slam. As both men now on the outside here.
Bro.
Oh, boy.
Brock is trying to do all offense and, like, no defense. I've never seen Brock like this.
I'm about to say, Corey Graves and Michael Coleman get the hell of the way out of there, though. The announce table being rearranged. Oba Femi now, Irish whip, reversal by Brock, though. And Oba! German shoulder first into the ring post. That shoulder that was trapped in that Kimura. And again, Brock Lesnar with the Kimura hold. But this time on the outside of the ring. Again, look at the Kimura. Oh, man, driven back first into the ring post. Last time we saw Brock Lesnar apply this Kimura to lethal measure was against Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes, he didn't tap out. He passed out. Oh, but the hoisting Brock, though. Brock able to escape. Now Brock hoists up with Femi. Up on the shoulders. And then a forward through the announce table.
We have now seen 6 F5s. This is ridiculous.
310 pounds planted.
I told you guys this isn't a match. It's just a fucking brawl.
For the first time this match, Femi is literally down. As Pat starts the 10 count. I figure out to 3 right now. Femi going to be humbled tonight by the Beast Incarnate. Oh, my Lord. Femi stood out like nothing.
But look at Brock. Despite all his domination, he's just sitting in the corner there, hoping to end it, and then the look of shock on his face when Oba gets back in here.
And Oba immediately on the attack, running in with the uppercuts. How the hell is Femi still moving like this? To do the unthinkable again, to beat the Beast Incarnate twice. King throw! Halfway across the ring, Brock Lesnar tossed by the former shot put champion, and another possible fall from grace is impending. Brock can escape.
Whoa, Brock is still nimble, huh?
Up in the fireman's carry, and again another F5 to Oba. And Brock
no
left
way.
to the cover. Hook to their leg. Brock Lesnar conquers Oba.
Dude, it took 7 fucking F5s. 7 F5s. I don't even think
freaking fights.
I don't think he hit freaking Undertaker that many times in one match.
Smooth last time, Brock Lesnar hit 7 F5s. To your point, Walter, unprecedented display by the Beast Incarnate tonight. But a hell of a freaking vendetta delivered. Brock Lesnar not only survives, he conquers.
This is like remember when you played SmackDown vs. Raw and you store the finishers? He had all of them stored and hit 7 of them shits.
And for all I know, he probably still had more left to give. But finally, 7 F5s took Femi down for the freaking 3 count. That was incredible.
Yeah. That was, like I said in the chats, man, Lesnar has not been this desperate in 23 years. And I don't mean like the 2000
for a long time,
right. And I don't mean the 2002 when he was first champion. I mean 2003 when he turned heel, he won the title back, and Undertaker was getting ready to bow out as the biker and go into Survivor Series against Vince. That Brock Lesnar was desperate because he was fighting off Big Evil. Brock, dominant performance. 7 F5s, just beat the holy tar out of each other. But that was a desperate, dare I say, a scared Brock Lesnar. When Brock Lesnar is scared, I take a step back and go, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? Bad motherfucker, folks. Femi is the guy. And now we have a room for a rubber match, the 3rd match. Do we have it at Night of Champions? Do we have it, when do we have this? But yeah, 7 F5s. To Walter's point, it didn't take more than 3 and a concussion and a beatdown to take the Undertaker streak away from us.
Oh, hey, guys, Femi's still jaw-jacking Brock Lesnar. To your point, Jeff, it's 1-1. And again, Femi, what? Ooh.
Another, Jesus.
1+1, you done. Oh, boy. Emphatic words by Brock Lesnar as, of course, he judges Femi. I also want to put this out there, by the way. The fact that Femi was favoring his left arm, to your point, Walter, that he worked with the Kimura, I think that was instrumental in Brock Lesnar escaping the freaking fall from grace. If that fall from grace would have hit, I think Femi would have went 2-0. I think the damage done to the arm literally saved freaking Brock Lesnar tonight.
Santino in his own shirt. God damn it.
There is no shirt that he literally won the freaking WWE Championship.
The Canadian that is somehow Italian on WWE.
Yeah,
I love that he's in character. He's not even an employee at WWE anymore. Fucking hell.
He's a WWE legend. He's a former WWE Champion.
No,
all right,
what?
it is what it is.
No,
What is
what?
it? What is it?
did I or did I not, during Simply Predicting, ask you, what are the odds that we see Salvador Sincere, the FBI, or Santino Marella?
1 out of 3, and you got one right.
But did I not ask you that question? Did I not
You did.
put it in the ether?
You did.
And we just saw Santino Marella.
That doesn't
We
mean
still
FBI
have
isn't
2
there.
matches. There is still time for possibly another cameo. But goddamn it, I predicted that shit.
Simply, yes, you did.
Simply put,
As
yes,
we
you
take
did.
a look at Mascara versus
please.
Mascara.
Okay.
Standing
Now,
fucking
let me
ovation
just
of this
say-
match last night, dude.
Let me
couldn't-
just say, I have not seen this yet. I do plan to go back and watch it probably later on today.
Yes.
But Triple Mania, Night 1, Las Vegas.
You know,
Walter.
Vegas is right there, y'all. Just saying.
Oh,
Again,
bloody hell.
JJ, to your point, you and me especially, I never in my wildest dreams figured I would become a regular viewer of Lucha Libre, AAA. Never. WWE buys it. I have access to it. I see it. And last night, I didn't get to watch it until. Give me a second.
I was watching
4
it during the shenanigans, dude. Jeff, you
Okay.
gotta go back and just watch my reaction.
I
To the point,
definitely will.
JJ kept fucking hitting the solo button in the middle of me.
So I didn't get back here from work until about 3:30 because I clocked out at 2:00 this morning. God help me. But I watched the entire 2 hours of Night 1, and man, so good. And when you think about who the on-screen authority figure is, when you think about who's running creative, it just warms the cockles of my soulless heart that stuff like this is happening on our television screens on a regular.
You mean the cackles?
So let me
Yes.
touch on something you said there, because you mentioned a very key point, accessibility.
Yep.
The only reason I never really watched Lucha Libre on a consistent basis was accessibility.
Right.
You know, when I had cable TV back in my younger days, Sonny, before streaming was a thing and everybody had cable television.
Yes.
You had to watch it on the Spanish channels.
Right.
And I always would forget about it. It's not something I would watch consistently, so I didn't know what channels the Spanish channels were. I didn't know what time it came on. So if I was channel hopping looking for something and I saw, Lucha Libre Wrestling or something, then I'd stop on it and I'd watch it. But I never really knew what time it came on every week. So that's why I never watched it more consistently. But now that WWE has purchased it, now that it has a home, now that you can watch it at this time, on this day, this way, and it's more out there for the general masses and not the Hispanic community, but the general masses, it's a lot easier to find, access, and get engulfed in.
Think about it, Jay. This is a wrestling fan and a sports fan's ultimate situation. And people are gonna accuse me of being a shill or kissing the Hunter ass or whatever. I really don't give a fuck, to be perfectly honest with it. You get the major leagues, WWE, Raw and SmackDown. You've got step below, even though they are a great product, NXT. You've got the minor leagues and Evolve. You've got the ability to see these kids learning and growing and getting the opportunities, LFG. You get the international appeal with AAA.
And Noah.
And Noah, that's right. Not just Foster.
And Shane Haste, TMDK, the GHC champion over there. So
that's it. You've got Noah involved within the sphere, if you will. And then you've got TNA, we love TNA. TNA will never be what it was in the early days just because their major talents from back then are either retired or they're for WWE now. But TNA is still a great alternative if you want to be one of those, I don't like AEW, so I'm going to stick with the WWE side. TNA is still a great way to go. But then AEW is kicking so much fucking ass right now. You know what I mean? AEW is great. The world champion is who the world champion should be. Our favorite scumbag. Anyway, Noah, you talk about it all the time, and you know the ebb and flow is what it is. But it has never been a better time to be a professional wrestling fan.
Damn it. Yep.
And even if you still prefer real wrestling, Real American Freestyle is just cooking with gas right now. There's no shortage of content if you are a wrestling / combat sports fan. Fuck me. Anyway, carry on.
Words are hard. No, you're fine. Words are hard. ShopEminentCaitlin.com. Buy the shirt today. Also buy the shirt at Beach Network. I got my mom with that too. That's an actual shirt. Also, FW streaming services. We got another commercial break.
And speaking of content, since you brought that up, Jeff, that was a hell of a transition. Let's take a look at some of the watch-alongs that you can find here on the Simply Reliable Studios in the coming weeks and months.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And as always, here at the Super Reliable Studios, we truly encompass, embrace, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, and criticize, and react to the wrestling. And welcome back here once again to the Super Reliable Studios. Hope you all enjoying the conversation, reactions, analysis, and watch-along coverage. Thank you all again. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. And again, if you want to dictate the conversation, super chat or PayPal the passions. It's as simple as that. Of course, we are covering Clash of the Night. Stay tuned, of course, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Standard Time. Me and Papadino will be breaking it down, our Predictions League breakdown, live 6 p.m. Standard Time at the Simple Man's brand. And of course, we have further activities to come for you all in the upcoming weeks outside those watch-alongs with further interviews and shenanigans. So hope you all continue to be along for the ride if this is your first time. And again, you encourage a friend to tag along with. So again, after we talk about that recap nonsense, again, Brock Lesnar over Femi, damn. And again, the matter was the Kimura weakened the ruler that helped Brock Lesnar to the victory, if I'm being honest here, JJ, because I do think that Kimura, if it didn't affect Oba Femi's leverage of holding Brock Lesnar up, I very well think Oba Femi could have went 2-0.
That's a fair point. I mean, that was a damn good fight. You know, my pop through in the chat, you know, about one move Lesnar. But it's like, I think it was everything it needed to be. It was very much a video game fight. You know, like was mentioned earlier. It was spamming of the finishers.
Beep, 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 beep.
And I kind of found that hilarious to an extent, you know?
Yeah, he pissed him off to the point he just wanted to break the man.
we see it all the time in other wrestling companies, and I won't name names because there's a lot of companies that do it, where you see the same move over and over again during the course of a match. This was no different. It just was a more devastating move. You know, a lot of times, you know, the Usos, you'll see super kick after super kick. You count the super kicks.
Super kick.
Because they spam super kicks.
Yes.
You know, over across the street, it's the Young Bucks that do it a lot. This was just a more devastating move. It was a finisher. You know, so it's just, I didn't find it that big a deal.
I didn't
as
either.
long as it's not every match in the feud doing the same spot, then I don't have an issue with it. But they had to make this different from the first encounter. They had to show the desperation of Brock Lesnar, and I think they accomplished that.
Yeah, so now what does Femi do with this? How does he, react to this defeat? The first time we've seen him witness and face defeat since arriving, of course, on the main roster on Monday Night Raw. I don't think necessarily he wiped out and got caught away by a high tide, never do service again, but I think the jury is out that he is going to have a very emphatic statement for a rematch. That being said, speaking of rematches, the rematches continue. Let's hang 10 with Ruca as we now look towards the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Good luck, ladies. Of course, Ruca talking about someone that has been surfing waves of momentum and arriving on the scene, setting shore on Monday Night Raw and signing on the dotted line. Ruca, of course, former NXT Women's North American Champion, highly influenced by Lita, one of the final three, of course, in this year's Women's Royal Rumble match, and has already hung with Liv Morgan, Io Sky, and Becky Lynch. To the point, Becky Lynch was so in front of her game, she threw a hissy fit after getting herself disqualified at Saturday night's main event when the title wasn't on the line.
Well, Becky Lynch is known for her hissy fits. Everyone talks about it. Sports Illustrated talks about it. ESPN talks about it. The Bleacher Report talks about it. NoDQ.com talks about it. Everybody talks about it. They don't just talk about her being the greatest women's wrestler. They talk about all aspects of Becky Lynch, excuse me.
No, I heard that.
But this is very much a do or die situation for Ruca. We talked a little bit earlier about whether Jade versus Rhea was a do or die situation for Jade. This, I think, even more so is a do or die for Sol, because ever since Sol got elevated, rode that wave to the main roster, she's wiped out every time she's tried to cash in and snatch someone's soul.
Yes.
She needs to have a good outing, deliver that move flawlessly, and watch the new Intercontinental Champion. Otherwise, WWE fucked up in bringing her up when they did.
Becky Lynch,
and I hate to say it with my dad in the chat, because I know how much he loves Ruca. He's probably sitting there in St. Petersburg with his Ruca shirt on right now, watching this and listening to us. But facts are facts are facts, and I love me some Sol too.
Well, that being said, Jeff, to JJ's point, Becky Lynch, now a three-time WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, finds herself in her second defense night of this title after beating AJ Lee at WrestleMania after going for a hat trick of kerosene-level insanity against everyone's favorite super nerd again, AJ Lee. Get well soon. Thank you for everything. Oh, referee for this contest, by the way, is Jessica Carr. Of course, the referee that took the botched Soul Snatcher segment event has been the bane of Becky Lynch's existence for the better part of probably the last 2 years. But Becky Lynch, again, to her credit, she's beaten them all, whether you're a veteran or newcomer. And in her own mind, she feels that she is above them all. Talking about Ric Flair earlier, to be the man, you got to beat the man, as the man that welcomes Ruca to the big time once again. But this time with the title on the line, I do wonder if Becky Lynch will approach this more rather maturely and smartly, or even more desperately, to hold on to what she probably believes is her only right now relevancy. Because I got to imagine Becky Lynch loses that title, she's going to have even more of a midlife crisis than she already has already.
JJ, I agree with every point except the very last one you made about Sol and winning the title. She needs to hit the Soul Snatcher flawlessly. That has not happened yet on the main roster. That's a little rough. She needs to have a good outing. I think Jessica Carr being involved in the match is definitely going to be what it's going to be, like it always is. But I don't think Soul losing and not winning the title ultimately kills her, as long as she has a strong showing and the finish is such. Wow. All right.
Ruca,
We're starting off on heavy.
But,
as long as the finish flows enough where it makes sense and it's not another schmozzy shit like the other day on Saturday Night's Main Event or Raw, whatever it was, then I'm okay with it. I'd like to see Soul win. I love Soul Ruca. But if she doesn't win, I don't think it's career killing. I just think it's in the way it happens, not that it happens for me.
Execution versus the accomplishment, according to Jeff Mudder from Meacham. It's so Ruca right now with the Widow's Peak curb stomp face first in the second turnbuckle. I tried, bro. And again, to your point, so Ruca, like I said, she literally just arrived on the main roster shortly after WrestleMania and officially signed on the dotted line a couple weeks later. Nice standing moonsault on the cover with the far leg and gets a 2 count. And it is one of those things where, again, you're already taking advantage of these opportunities within less than 40 days of what truly is the start of your WWE career. Yes, you did start in NXT, but at the end of the day, you truly don't begin until you arrive on either the red or blue brand of WWE.
For me, it's a matter of, if Jessica Carr is involved again, where are we going? Like, are we going to see her and Becky hook up? Because if not, I'm kind of over it at this point.
Oof. Well, even Earl Hebner got involved with some of his greatest rivals, to your point. And again, Becky Lynch driving Silver up to the outside. Of course, folks, we have not had no titles change hands tonight, by the way. And title can only change hands be a pinfall switch. Oh, inside the ring. Nice baseball slide drop kick there by Becky Lynch, as both of them are on the outside now. And I still think Becky Lynch feels a little bit embarrassed what happened at Side's event, despite the fact she literally had the last laugh and the last shot against Ruca. Handstand on the apron by Soul. Oh!
That
Clear
hurts.
to miss. Into the ring post, you heard the thud of Becky Lynch's hand where bone meets steel. And so Ruca with a beautiful moonsault wiping out the man.
Oh, Charlotte Flair saw that. That was a decent little moonsault to the outside.
To Jeff's point, someone on Simply Predicting, I forget who it was, said that Jessica Carr needs to be the one to take the Intercontinental Champion off of Becky Lynch. And I don't agree with that. But I could see Jessica Carr doing a quick count here, screwing Becky to give Soul the title. And that's how we move to the Becky-Jessica match. Because I do feel that needs to happen. I do feel if we're not going to pay off this rivalry between Becky and Jessica, then what the fuck are we doing at this point? Like, even Aubrey Edwards and Jeff Jarrett eventually met in a match.
Ooh. Nice sweep out, over the shoulders.
Like, we eventually paid that off on AEW. We need to do the same thing here.
And unlike Jessica Carr, Aubrey Edwards had it coming.
Oh, jeez. Jeff, we're not going down that road again. We buried the hatchet. You and I got on the same page. Don't unleash Pandora's box.
I love Aubrey just fine. It's just she's not Jeff Jarrett.
That is fair enough. Yeah, wrestling historian.
Hey, you know what? There's only room for one Double J in streaming, goddammit, and he is I and I and him.
Well, Jeff Jarrett, doesn't agree or disagree, get back to me on that. Magic 8 Ball says...
I was doing podcasting before he got into the field, okay?
I was going to say, I'm kind of over his podcast, JJ, so I'm with you, brother. Like,
I was say you two are like originals that literally trailblazed this setting for podcasting and YouTube streaming. Right. And Becky Lynch believes she's the trailblazer, leading the next generation of the WWE women's roster. And so Ruca right now is the latest one. She looks to humble to remind exactly who the man is. Becky Lynch, of course, as I talked about, a 3-time women's Intercontinental champion. The 6th, by the way, the inaugural, of course, was Lyra Valkyria. And during their feud of 3 matches, Becky got the better of Lyra, of course, after beating her at Money in the Bank and at SummerSlam. The Maxine Dupree got a surprise win on Becky, thanks to AJ Lee. Becky got back shortly, though, against Maxine. And, of course, Natty, well, basically decimated her student, which led to that championship. And AJ Lee got it back against Becky Lynch. Her comeuppance, basically, as AJ Lee beat Becky at Elimination Chamber, and Becky got the title back at WrestleMania. This title has been more defined by Becky Lynch in quantity versus quality for sure. But she has also held this title for the most combined number of days. Her current run being 43 days, by the way.
Work horse title, Noah.
And Becky Lynch looking to put in the work tonight up on the top rope. And so Ruca in the drop zone, dropping the leg across the throat. German chain cover, hook the far leg, kick on it too by Soul.
That was very psychosis-like in the top rope leg drop.
Yeah, took a look at the replay here.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Becky Lynch talking to Jessica Carr, saying that was a slow count. Even count as usual, Becky. I think Jessica Carr is actually one of those referees that actually knows more often than not where to position herself and actually handle herself versus take a bump. I've only seen her take a bump maybe 3 times in her entire referee career, and very rarely out of position.
Well, when Uncle Bully teaches you, you know what you're doing.
That's a fair point. Big uppercut there by Becky Lynch, clocking Saruka's jaw. Saruka, of course, also came into JJ's NXT. Surf Waves, of course, as formerly the NXT Women's North American Champion, after, of course, winning it in a ladder match. Big uppercut there. And, of course, the fall with her tag team partner, Zarya, was, of course, the last stand for Saruka before she became part of the Red Brand. And right now, Saruka and Becky Lynch just trading in the middle. Vicious soul bot, though, the midsection. Drop soul to her knee. Now Becky on the move. Oh, has the other hand, midsection, point of the elbow. Combination offense by Soul now. Irish whip off the ropes. Sidestep by Soul. And Soul now takes Becky down. And look at it build a comeback here and follow momentum. Irish whip. Face first in the top turnbuckle. Rebound German by the challenger. Got the champion reeling. And so Ruca up to the second. Beautiful miss out drop kick.
I just recently re-saw that clip of Soul taking the bump off the balcony through almost only one table.
Right.
That was that
Right
was
knee
so,
strike
that
next.
could've been
Hot
so
stack cover and gets a 2 count, floating Becky like an accordion. Yeah, and she ended up with staples in her head with the process from that.
It could have been so much worse. That was so scary.
Well, again, when you literally have gravity as your only tag partner and what you're trying to present, or what you're trying to take as a bump, reckless abandonment could literally be your detriment or your benefit.
No, hey, you know what? We have been proven in a WWE environment that having gravity as a tag partner is better than having God as a tag partner, because God walked out on Shawn Michaels.
That's right.
And right now off the same rope, looking for the set. Oh, Becky with a side step, looking for the disarmer. Positively Ginger Tommy, cross arm breaker. But so able to lock the wrist, though. Great positioning by Becky Lynch. The awareness of that risk with that devastating finisher that only one woman has actually kicked out of in Saruka's career, and that was her tag partner, Zarya, and it took 3 of them to beat her. Now transitioning into her own submission. Crossface applied by Saruka.
The way she transitioned out of that.
And look at the way that she's literally torquing the neck of Becky away from the ropes. Now Becky binding literally the forearm of Soul. Desperate measures by the champion to relinquish the hold. Now looking for the disarmer. And so Ruca, though, able to get leverage. Rolls Becky up, shoulders down. And nearly got a new champion there with a 2 count.
I just want to give the WWE television crew a little credit there. That shot of Soul with the submission on Becky, Jessica just on screen, and the background behind it. Oh, here we go.
Man. So, a big boot as Carr was able to get out of the way of almost literally being caught. Oh, reverse DDT. Grab it down, may have her here, cover center of the ring, gets 2 count for Becky.
I'm behind you guys enough where it's trouble.
Uh-oh, here we go. Becky Lynch getting in the face of Jessica Carr.
You knew it was coming.
I don't know if you notice, I don't pay enough attention to Jessica, but her eyeshadow is matching the color on Soul Ruca. Just wanted to throw that little tidbit out there.
Not the first time she's worn that eye color, though, to be fair, but I do see what you mean. As, of course, she's also been involved in aerial acrobatics. Living the man out slam. So Ruca able to flip out and catching him with a drop kick. That drop kick has been one of Soruka's best weapons during this match right now. Hoisted up and over. Land on the apron. Got with a clothesline, though. And Becky Lynch and Soul fighting in the corner on opposite sides of the ropes. Face first goes Soul into the ring post. Positive the turnbuckles, actually. Now Becky positioning herself for something devastating.
It looked like her head hit the little
disaster.
Like her head hit the little the bar between the LED board and the turnbuckle. That's rough too.
I'm about to say that's not even a flat surface. Just call it what it is.
No.
Big headbutt though by Ruca. Becky Lynch and Soul in the high risk zone, and Soul right now up to the top rope. Look at her send Becky down with the avalanche X Factor.
Holy shit!
Not
everything I ever wanted. Never took that back.
Stop that.
Take a look at the replay here, Jeff. Jeez.
I love
the
Sean
sudden
Waltman,
stop with Becky Lynch's face in the canvas.
That was a hell of an X Factor. You know, Mr. Consultant Sean Waltman's going, all right, I can fuck with that.
Well, clearly, Ruca is channeling her inner extreme. As again, we talked about how many people have compared her. And once again, Jessica Carr put in the ropes. Oh no!
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
And Jessica Carr literally pushed the top rope that caused Ruca to lose her balance. He was on the ascent. Becky Lynch literally using both the official and the ring environment to her own selfish advantage. Now looking to send Soul for the ride with a vicious superplex, maintains hold of the head, follow through, turn around, into a DDT, and Ruca escaped it! Super kick and both women down!
That's nice.
On instinct alone, Ruca able to follow up with a desperate super kick out of the DDT counter that I thought spiked her on her head as both women are down right now. We're at a stalemate.
Jessica Carr is breathing heavily internally, going, thank God that wasn't the it, because that would have been on her. 100% on her.
I'm about to say the pressure of a referee to actually hold the integrity of a match. I mean, that's got to be the biggest pressure versus anyone else on the freaking wrestling roster.
It's not hard to have integrity if you just do it. I'm just saying.
Kept up by Ruca. Becky Lynch, though, on the outside. Soul fired up here, though. What's Soul thinking here? Might be looking to fly, going off the ropes, possibly looking for the Sasuke special, and just getting Becky Lynch. Ruca did not seem quite sure-footed there. I think she lost the dismount towards the very end.
She did. She did not clear the ropes clean at all.
Ruca, though, looking to spring back in. 450, clothesline. Becky Lynch got her hooked, though, into the manhandle slam. That might be it. Kick on it, too, by Soul.
Soul's reaction getting caught for that manhandle slam was great. Her eyes got as big as the belts. Like, whoa.
I would say time stopped there for a split second, JJ, as again, she was looking for the springboard 450 lariat, and immediately Becky Lynch caught her, made her think about for a quick second what happened, and a manhandle slam nearly led to the retainment.
Yeah, great sequence of moves there. Nice way that Becky was able to get in that manhandle slam. Ruca now looking for one of her own.
There's no way, okay? Again, that might be her downfall. Manhandle slam, I saw Ruca! Max Ball cover, new champ kick on too! Imagine Sophie and Becky with her own move!
That would have been a ginger snap for sure.
Take a look at this to your point, AJ. Many people in this business, when it comes to finishers, try to imitate, rarely duplicate. Becky Lynch trying something that she's never tried before, and it nearly cost her. Right now, Ruca scouting Becky Lynch, who's up in the corner, up in the fireman's carry. Becky catching Soul, though. Muscling up the challenger. What is she looking for here? Oh, able to escape. Back to her feet. Got hooked again. So, springing up to the second. Common Star Snatcher! Show Snatcher! Shoots a hand! Peppers hit the far leg! Ruca wins! Ruca wins! Ruca's the new Intercontinental champion!
Wow!
The cleanest Soul Snatcher she's done since coming up to the main roster.
That Soul Snatcher worked out the man! Soul Snatch Becky Soul, and Ruca is the new WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion! Yes! What a moment!
Right on. Good for Soul.
High fives all around for that finisher. Take a look here again, guys. The tell of this matchup for the man of the slam. Per position, Becky Lynch in disbelief. Snatched her soul, rode her towards center. So Ruca wins clean in the middle of the ring and has pinned the man Becky Lynch. And won her first championship.
The only dispute in that finish in Becky's mind will be
about Becky Hogan, but
that's it. What a career start. You think about this. A win over Bailey last year, Jeff, at Saturday night's main event. JJ hanging and literally debuting against the WWE Women's Heavyweight Champion on Monday Night Raw, Liv Morgan. Walter literally flying with the genius of the sky, Io Sky, who was able to position herself in the way of the Soul Snatcher. And literally in less, might I add, than 60 days, Soul Ruca just beat the man Becky Lynch and became the new WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion in Italy.
she just pulled an Ethan Page. And say what you want about Becky, but see, Becky's willing to put people over and make other people look good.
Yep.
Boy, did she earn that one, Jeff.
And it's not just us saying it.
ESPN said it. Sports Illustrated said it. Bleacher Report said it.
SRS Studios said it.
Simply Reliable Studios said it.
Keep going.
Hey, no DQ said it and got acknowledged for it.
So, Rage of Wrestling said it.
Keep going.
Wrestling said it. Yes.
Jeff Meacham Network said it.
Keep going. Keep going. I'm just going all night. Whatever.
Wasn't even accurate.
Go on the list.
Speaking of Ethan Page,
genius of this guy. Oh, okay, you guys. You said, like I said, you guys are ahead of me.
That's all good. At the end of the day, as long as there's at least somebody in sync, we all got our
Page with the fixing his glasses and the middle finger. I love this man.
And there's Lara Valkyria, of course, the inaugural WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, also part of the same class, of course, as Ruca. Gotta be extremely happy for one of her friends. And I can imagine So and Lyra having a hell of a program, as of course Lyra laid the foundation for that title. Speaking of the foundation, the mecca, if you will, of sports entertainment, will play host to Saturday night's main event as the WWE takes over Madison Square Garden Saturday, July 18th. So stay tuned, of course, we cover that here at the Simple Apple Studios, where Saturday's main event goes back to where it all started in Madison Square Garden for the showcase of the Immortals. Again, though, congratulations to So Ruca, brand new, now the 5th WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. I am so damn happy for that right now. JJ, come on, man. You gotta be smiling inside. That has to bring such warmth to you. That is your NXT, damn it. Your girl did it.
I love the fact that she did it. But I'm not going to sit here and lie, because if the end game is she loses it back to Becky, then what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, I completely agree.
You know, and it's kind of the point that I made in my article, which you guys can read. I posted the link in all the different chat rooms. Copy and paste it in your browser.
And I encourage you all to read that right now, as we got a WWE streaming service commercial break. Again, FW streaming services. Continue, JJ.
But if we end up just going back to Becky, then what are we doing? I need to see it move from Soul to somebody else.
Yes.
To somebody else.
Yes.
To somebody else.
Yes.
Like, we need to get away from the world title contender people fighting for the IC title.
Couldn't have said any better myself.
The IC title feels important now. Thank you, Becky. Let's move the fuck on.
And thank you for keeping my score intact, because something special needed to happen at what feels like a glorified house show with the incredible Italian audience's energy for this first ever taste of sports entertainment. I'm so darn glad that So beat the man, because I'm tired of Becky fracking Hogan.
I'm afraid it's going to get to the point that somebody's going to double champ it and be the women's champion, the IC title, and that's when it's really going to be down the drain.
Don't put that out there in the ether, okay? I'm still waiting for Roxanne Perez to snatch Liv. Well, I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? That being said,
that's who should beat Soul eventually. Not now. Give her a good title run, and then Rock should do that.
No.
Rox needs to be Money in the Bank.
True.
Rox needs to be Money in the Bank, and she needs to basically do what Tiffy did.
Yep.
and just cash in on Liv at that opportune moment to break away from her, just like Tiffany did to Nia.
But let's be honest here. Roxanne needs to break away from Judgment Day. I've had enough of this trope. I'm just saying. But that's neither here nor there. Again, congratulations to Ruca, who is now the 7th WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. And she is also, to my statistical knowledge again, the 5th different person to hold it. Congratulations to Sol. Couldn't be happier for her. Well, hey, he knows what's up. As we had a fun little evening here as we get ready for our main event. Of course, thank you for those that tuned in since the beginning. Of course, we saw Jade Cargill got wiped out with a red tie thanks to assist by the Queen, neutralizing the baddies in a very competitive bout. Cody Rhodes, of course, was able to retain the undisputed WWE Championship against the Ring General Gunther under rather dubious means, some would say. If VAR was a thing for my football fans, if you know, you know, as Gunther's foot was underneath the bottom rope during the entire portion of that decision, but Cody was still undisputed WWE Champion. And what felt like we were just spamming the F5 button on a freaking keyboard, Brock Lesnar did find a way to humble and conquer the ruler of the Femi tonight, now making it 1-1. So we will see what the conclusion will be, and what I have to imagine will be a trilogy. Yes, Jeff, I see your hand real quick.
Noah, you are the simple man with a spectacular voice. I will not dispute that. I will dispute your last claim, though. Brock did not conquer Oba. Yes, he pinned him 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. It took 7 F5s.
Fair enough.
It took a beatdown, and Oba still wanted more. And he gonna get some. I promise you. Brock is not done with Oba Femi yet.
I don't think Oba's done with Brock. I don't think neither man's done with either. But at the end of the day, who got the 3 count? I'm just saying. And it wasn't for that Kimura, I think it would have been a very different result. So I respect your outlook, because at the end of the day, neither man looked beaten. Both men just wanted more. We might as well just made it 2 out of 3 falls, in my opinion. And of course, as we just saw, thank you, JJ. So Ruca snatched the soul of the man, Becky Lynch, perfectly. Give the freaking judges scores a 10 across the board, and became the brand new WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. On a fun little eve from Italy, it all comes down to this. We get ready to return here to our main event. Roman Reigns, Fatu World Heavyweight Championship, Tribal Combat.
I think Brock might have just conquered his own demons, is what he conquered. But damn sure.
I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah. Tonight was less about conquering Oba and more about Brock Lesnar proving to Brock Lesnar that he's still Brock Lesnar.
I mean, you think about Paul Heyman when we thought he was retired, and how he was teary-eyed on the Raw after WrestleMania, talking about that Brock is the baddest in the business.
That old, wise Oracle advocate needs a fucking Emmy, and I am going to advocate for that to happen until it happens. That man is deserving of all the Emmys.
This is interesting. Now, of course, I can't do this, but of course, we try to cover more tournaments here. Allow me to bring this programming note to you. Special start time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard on tomorrow. The King and the Queen of the Ring tournaments begin, as the brackets will be revealed in the post show today after Clash in Italy concludes. So,
of course, it has to begin the day that I have an opening shift.
Well,
hey, I get to watch Raw tomorrow. I didn't think I was going to get to watch Raw, but I don't work till like later tomorrow night, so I'm here for it.
Hey, you can do the commentary then, Jeff.
With who?
Walter?
Yeah, but Walter could do it. I mean, Walter's been, of course, he could literally continue to profess about the King and Queen of the Ring tournament.
Tomorrow's Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to be at 11 a.m., Walter.
Eastern Pacific time.
No, 11 Pacific. Yeah.
Walter's in California now, so I can speak to him in California time. 11 a.m. tomorrow. The King and Queen of the Ring tournaments begin on Raw.
That's a mouthful. Blech. King and
you
Queen
down
of the Ring.
to do the commentary with Jeff?
Yeah.
There it is. We have made it official, folks. King, Queen,
I'm checking my calendar to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass here.
Simply Reliable Studios.
So stay tuned for more of that coverage, folks. We bring you even more coverage of fantastic tournaments here in the wrestling business, made official by JJ Pierce as we now are not only covering the Owen, we are now covering the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. And of course, they will culminate at Night of Champions, I imagine. And we will be covering that, of course, here next month at the Super Reliable Studios, as we have an interlude to our main event for whatever reason. Here with Joe Tessitore, Bald Guy, and Biggie Langston.
Peter Rosenberg, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's whatever his name is.
Bald Guy who is not MJF. He's not bald. Because he regained his title.
MJF, of course, who will be defending.
And the one member of the New Day that actually still has a job.
Hey, what about that? Biggie, the constant man that had a functional job for the New Day, was a constant presence. It all worked out in the end. Wow.
Bro, can you imagine if he walked out after that, like as a protest?
Yeah.
That would have been. But again, he had the New Day's heel turn promo is right. He's got a fucking cush job, dude. He don't got to do shit.
And he deserves it. And he earned it.
Why walk?
The premature end of his career still pisses me off.
So, yeah, Walter, I'm off at 1:15 a.m. tomorrow morning from my shift tonight. So if you want to go to 11, I can go.
All right. Yeah, let's go right at the start time so you can get a little sleep.
Well, like I said, my commute's 30 minutes, not 50 miles. So I'll get plenty of sleep.
Yeah, I'm about to say, sleep is valuable. Sleep is something I'm learning to enjoy the commodity of as much as I am with game shows, to offset the amount of wrestling that sometimes TV-wise I'm like, But anyway, this has been a very fun show tonight. What's not going to be fun, though, is the fact that Jacob Fatu has been an untamed freaking Samoan werewolf, hell-bent on taking everything from Roman Reigns with the World Heavyweight Championship at this point as interest. What started off primarily as the one accomplishment he wanted, to provide for his family, much like the tribal chief believes that he provides not only for his family, but for families and families to come in this bloodline as the tribal chief. It wasn't about taking the head of the table. It was simply about taking Roman Reigns' title. And then it got absolutely freaking personal when he literally invoked Haku's finisher, that Tongan death grip, as we might be on the verge of a Nali family bloodline civil war that might literally be our Survivor Series War Game storyline to come forward. Of course, we've seen on Monday Night Raw and at Backlash, Fatu was all gas, no brakes, and unleashed absolute hell against Roman Reigns and anybody in his way. Friggin' referee, friggin' official, friggin' general manager, friggin' cousins, little brother, big brother, doesn't freaking matter. Nobody was safe for Fatu. To the point we thought this man was going to be fired. Now tonight, it literally was the one thing that Roman Reigns said. He took a blood oath. He literally invoked the one thing that I can't back down from, where everything is on the line as we know it. Tribal combat. One way or another, one man will be acknowledged, not only as the head of the table, but as the World Heavyweight Championship. It all comes down to this, and the bloodline might literally change tonight as we know it.
This is something that I was worried about the outcome of this match prior to the Intercontinental match. Sol Ruca winning lets me believe that Roman's going to retain, but I will not be surprised if there is a title change on more than one front here, because not only is the world title on the line, but the title of tribal chief is on the line. And does Roman take his usual hiatus? Or are we going to see him abdicate the head of the table? Very curious what happens here. Very invested.
But Walter, to that point, though, can you imagine what Jacob Fatu said? Either way, he knows he has a job. So if he loses, he must serve Roman. Can you imagine Roman, though, serving Jacob Fatu, or the Usos, anybody for that matter, serving or acknowledging Jacob Fatu, though, as the head of a table? That's a very real reality that could happen tonight in Italy.
He would have to, and he's usually a man of his word, but I don't know. Back-to-back title changes? It's been done before, but we'll see. But, I mean, I'm not going to say Jacob has zero chance, because everybody has 50-50 when it's a one-on-one, but I really don't see them doing it. But, you know, it'll be a pleasant surprise if they do.
And, of course, JJ, to that point, Roman Reigns doesn't want the Usos to serve him. He wants them to be beside him, on the same lines, on the same front. And they have been since Roman Reigns won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania against CM Punk. But it's also one of those things of being tribal combat. The jury is out because, again, the Usos have been assaulted by little cousin, by little brother. So I wonder if the Usos would do this, either on Rumor's behalf or their own, for the sake of the bloodline tonight. Again, it's more than just the championship. It's the bloodline as we know it.
Fair, but every match Roman has won since becoming World Heavyweight Champion, he's had no outside interference.
To his credit.
So I would like to see him keep with that tradition here tonight. However, that said, let's not forget that 4 years ago at the first Clash at the Castle was the debut of one Solo Sikoa. Could history repeat itself? There are plenty members of the Inalpi Fatu family that are out there for the snatching, to steal a pun from the new Intercontinental Champion. Could we see a debut here this evening?
It's true. The Anoa'i and the Fatu families are like the Waynes of entertainment. They're just never gonna run out, dude. There's Waynes are.
I love that family. I'm not trying to get any heat with the Samoan dynasty, but they breed like cockroaches.
I mean, it's like Fibonacci's number when it comes to how rabbits multiply. For every one Samoan, there's 2 or 3 other hard-headed ones that are just waiting to grace you on the friggin' bloodline in WWE. As we know it, there's no end in sight, but there very well could be a changing of the guard here tonight. To your point, though, it is tribal combat. The pride of the tribal chief himself, more than just the Ula Fala, it is the position, it is the responsibility, it is the guardianship, it is the World Heavyweight Championship. It is everything that Roman Reigns has worked for in his career and in his life, as we know it. On the line tonight against what really was a rabid outsider that only wanted the riches and might take everything that comes with it.
I gotta do that comparison. I'm gonna do the Anoa'i tree and the Waynes tree, because the Waynes in acting and comedy are the same thing. It's just like, holy shit, there's a bunch of them.
As long as they keep fucking, ain't no stopping.
Accurate. And I've already seen Fatu too at SummerSlam 2024, and we all know he's been very vocal about this bloodline relationship. To that point, Lance Noy is another one as well. Shamaluda is another one as well. And for all we know, there's another Samoan we never even heard of that could be on the prowl as well.
The other problem is, I don't know why you keep having twins and triplets in their damn family.
Right?
Yeah, but
I think Roman has 2 sets of twins.
I feel like there's more sets than we actually know, honestly, despite the fact we saw that graphic. I'm just going to leave it at that. I feel like that graphic is out of date. You can only imagine what's going for the head of Jacob Fatu right now, channeling literally his inner Samoan with the attire that he's wearing here.
And I think Jacob is a Fatu, but I think he has 6 kids, I think, or 7. So like
7 little girls. He is the only man in his family. Household, I mean. Oh, boy.
God bless him.
Well, that's how it is when I was in church. The pastor has 7 girls, and then they all the grandkids are boys. I was like, geez.
I am glad that Roman Reigns, literally to JJ's point, did go back to the roots that brought him to the dance in the first place and literally do it on his own, including bringing back his old tribal chief theme. Yeah, boy. You know, after WrestleMania, the fact that Femi was the first name mentioned on the post, so Jacob Fatu was the furthest thing from my mind to be involved in this championships conversation. And yet here we are, literally a month and 2 weeks later at Tribal Combat. The long walk down to the ring that Roman Reigns has literally not only become accustomed to, but has literally owned himself for the better part of now 5 years.
Roman and Gunther, like it's more rare to see them without titles around their waist than with.
I mean, for the longest time, people thought it was probably bizarre that Roman Reigns didn't have a championship. It felt incomplete. And then Roman Reigns brought himself back to that promise, being in CM Punk at WrestleMania in the match that he called Absolute Magic. And that match was really driven by one thing: hate. This right here is just driven by family.
It might be a little hate in this one now too.
Well, at the end of the day, there may be hatred, but I know one thing's for certain: there will be humility, because regardless, the result is going to be one person leaves as champion and also the tribal chief.
I don't know. I don't know if Jacob would end up being on his side, but I know Jacob's somebody you want with you than against you.
Power and glory, much like Swerve Strickland, cause a man to do devious, dangerous, desperate things. And that is definitely the story of Jacob Fatu the Ninth. To your point, Walter, we've seen this man go against his own family in the Usos to literally get his hands on the tribal chief. There is no reasoning with Fatu. There is only one decision remaining.
It's going to be interesting because this is his first tribal match as a face, so we got to see if there is no interference and you keep it going like JJ said.
To be fair, in my opinion, this is the first true tribal combat I've ever heard of in the wrestling business, despite the fact I saw the first one that was a snooze fest at SummerSlam 2024. This right here is about as tribal and personal and as rooted as it gets. A man with everything, and a man that just wanted something that might literally gain everything.
A man with everything. One man has everything to lose. One man has everything to gain.
Yeah, who's more dangerous in that situation, though? Roman Reigns and the degree of responsibility that he holds, or Jacob Fatu and what he wants to earn besides the gold? And shout out to the 300 plus of you as I just acknowledge that number real quick as you all continue to make this possible to persist and pursue and the passion to continue to perpetuate here as we get ready for our main event here this evening from Clash in Italy.
There we go with the chance.
Well, soon enough, it might be the last time you acknowledge him. And at the end of the day, Walter, to your point, some people might call it a foregone conclusion. 99 out of 100 times you might call it a foregone conclusion because how you bet against Roman Reigns. But the fact of the matter is there is never a 100% certainty when it comes to what happens inside that ring, especially against the tribal chief.
And Jacob is one dangerous individual.
Took an entire army to last beat Roman Reigns. Let's see if Jacob Fatu can do it on his own in tribal combat.
This is as personal, as emotional as you can get right now.
And I feel it's about to get even more physical than what happened at Backlash. Let's keep in mind at Backlash, Roman Reigns was trapped in that tongue and death grip for numerous occasions. If it wasn't for using the ring environment to his advantage, it exposed turnbuckle that he ripped off, by the way, out of maybe desperation or convenience. Jacob Fatu very well could have rendered Roman Reigns incapacitated and would have won the World Championship. He was on the verge of doing it.
If you think about it, he can't do that in this match. He can't use rope breaks. He can't. It won't matter.
Anything goes. Tribal combat. Very unique chants here.
What the hell are they chanting?
Plus.
I couldn't understand.
Again, different type of crowd here, folks. As the head of the table is also on the line. As you see the referee holding up the Ula Fala passed down by Alpha and Sika, the wildest of the moments, to Roman Reigns when he took position at the head of the table.
The bell
Reigns
just rang.
officially underway.
Here we go. Big fight feel.
Might as well call it the Clash of Cousins.
Right?
Clash of Cousins and Clash of Italy in our main event for
Dude,
everything as we know it.
I feel bad for any of the kids in this family that ever had to do like those family projects they used to make us do. Like you would fucking never stop with this family.
Well, but the problem is they do a family tree thing. The Rock had one displayed in Vegas a couple years ago. It's like, boop, copy paste done.
Yeah.
I got this shit.
Conveniences of technology without Ancestry.com, according to Jeff.
Don't need ancestry. The final boss provides.
And fair enough. Jacob Fatu, of course, former United States champion, former MLW National Openweight champion, House of Glory Heavyweight champion, an MLW World Heavyweight champion, a reformed man that served his time behind bars, as that past no longer defines him, but the future may very well be written for him tonight.
And he never runs or hides from that and makes no excuses about that past life.
Drew McIntyre learned that the hard way at WrestleMania, to your point, where Jacob Fatu knows how to handle himself in unsanctioned fights.
Mm-hmm.
Another time here in the early going as these two men lock him. And of course, we saw the testament of strength and fortitude that Jacob Fatu was able to show and produce against Roman Reigns at Backlash. I feel like Roman Reigns, though, the greatest commodity he has, besides the level of experience and the level of the trust in this responsibility he's been able to handle, is the fact that he knows he can exploit Jacob Fatu's temper. If he can use Jacob Fatu's emotions, to your point, Walter, against him, he very well might be able to neutralize his Moan werewolf. For those that don't know, tribal combat literally ends pinfall or submission. Anything goes besides that. I'm pretty sure the decision has to be rendered inside the ring. Inside headlock being applied here. Would help with a graphic or someone actually saying that officially. Shoulder block there. As Fatu takes Roman Reigns down for the moment. Now Fatu up the ropes to drop down. Of course, Fatu saying that you didn't call me. And Solo Sikoa was the one that gave me this opportunity, but Roman Reigns was the one that said he signed off on that.
And to your point earlier, anger is a double-edged sword because it can fuel you, but it can also damn sure work against you because you make dumb emotional decisions.
And again, neither man could afford to make the mistake that cost them everything here tonight. There is no tomorrow the same way for either man, regardless of result. One man serves the other. One man is the world heavyweight champion. One man is the one that you will acknowledge, period.
Bro, what a sight that would be, though, for Roman to have to acknowledge someone else after all these years of telling people to acknowledge me.
Only one other man that tried to make Roman Reigns acknowledge him. And again, to your point, that was his own blood, Jey Uso. But of course, Roman Reigns was able to beat Jey in tribal combat that night a few years ago at SummerSlam when Jimmy Uso cost him that night. And it's right now going for that talking death grip. Immediately they're going, and Roman sense of urgency rolls to the outside. And Jacob Fatu right now looking to follow through, dive in the outside. Let's also keep in mind here, there was speculation, JJ, that Jacob Fatu was injured prior to this match tonight. Not able to go in at 100% for the task at hand here, but so far not showing any signs of lingering damage, injury, or possible vulnerabilities.
This is not one match you want to go anything less than 100% into.
Well, it's not even a match at this point. You might as well just call it a fight. Now, both men going into the WWE Universe on the outside. Watch out, kid.
A battle or a war, basically. A fight was Brock and Oba. This is a freaking tribal war.
Yeah, fair enough. Still probably going to be just as physical as they're amongst the 12,000 plus sellout here inside this arena. And Roman Reigns, of course, who's done everything his entire WWE career. Of course, formerly known as Roman Liake, or, of course, real name Joe Anali. Just a man proud to be a father and providing for his family, his wife, his kids, and everything else in between, and everyone else to come. Now just driving down his fist to Jacob Fatu's head here. Record-setting, of course, time as the undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, 1,316 days, former Intercontinental United States, and, of course, Tag Team Champion.
And remember, there's nothing anyone can do about any of this. The referee literally is just there to count the 3 or see if somebody taps out.
And again, Roman Reigns driven head first into the railing.
Oh, I think he hit the corner too.
As this fight continues on here. It's a nice arena,
that,
by the way. Good spacing.
You can see that extra protective glass because you know how it is in soccer stadiums. We've literally seen shit collapse in Europe from people being so excited.
I'm about to say, people think hockey is a sport that's driven by adrenaline. They haven't seen a football game yet.
Especially in Italy.
In Europe, period. You kidding me?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Fucking Brazil. Over by the concession stand. And now Roman Reigns is grabbing a bucket of ice. Brandon the Samoan Werewolf. I didn't think this was going to become a concession brawl. Couple of free snacks there by the Tribal Chief. Always giving back, as he says, to the WWE Universe. The fact of the matter, we haven't even seen CM Punk since that loss at WrestleMania and that message on Monday Night Raw. Speaks volumes as well to how much that match affects him. Roman Reigns right now just trying to find his bearings and driven face first into that unique medium partition on that stair rail. You know, for a match you consider that would be absolutely barbaric, downright violent, this has been pretty tame for two Samoans, I would say, who you thought would be tearing apart the arena at this point, let alone each other.
Still early in the match, though.
Yeah, that's true. Again, referee to your point, can't do nothing. Jacob Fatu can take as much time as he please, but also this very much is like Roman Reigns' playbook. Slow and methodical and just breaking down his opponent. Crowd already chanting for "We Want Tables." That's a freaking sentence you can understand in any language. Yeah, but once again, by the Samoan Werewolf.
Who's going to be the head of that said table at the end of this match?
Well,
That's
eventually,
what the question
every
is.
family's got to have a changing of the guard, I would think. You know, you got to trust the future to somebody else. There's a reason why wills are literally existing. Oh, motion there right now. Jacob Fatu is looking for someone in Roman. Oh! Big right hand. And looks like Jacob Fatu was looking to go for a tail, but instead said, hell nah. Face first, and again, you cannot give Roman Reigns the luxury of time to recuperate, especially when he's in Tribal Chief mode.
Okay, I like that Dirty Dom sign that looked like the Pringles logo.
Roman, as always,
that needs to be a T-shirt.
Doesn't WWE make enough T-shirts as it is, JJ? I'm just saying.
Yes, but are they not a merchandising conglomerate? Are they not about business?
Well, that's fair. And again, this is about as personal as family business gets here. Now, Fatu bringing a table up. About to say, Fatu literally a walking weapon in himself. You just got to look at this man's career, not just in WWE, but also on the independents. And Roman being literally sung like a choir by the 12,000 plus in attendance here.
And he's laughing. He's loving it.
Of course, he's in full control right now. This is literally Roman Reigns' territory. You're in Roman's world.
Wee woo, wee woo.
Big right hand by Fatu, and Fatu driving Roman Reigns face first in the steel ring steps. And again, driving Roman shoulder first into the steel ring steps.
Papa Gino in the chat acknowledges the Tribal Chief, the OTC, as well as Noah Foster.
It's not about me, it's about wrestling, but I appreciate you all regardless. Appreciate you, Papa Gino. I'll see you tomorrow for Prediction League Breakdown in collaboration, of course, with the Papa Gino Network. And stay tuned for his form, of course, Major Push Wrestling, bringing the Major Push to Wrestling, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live Wednesday nights at the Papa Gino Network. Now, Brandon still steps inside the ring. Roman Reigns, of course, who has not maybe been nearly as involved in WWE this year, but decided to go into WWE full year since winning back the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania after, of course, coming back this year at the Royal Rumble and winning that to pursue that opportunity and regain that former Glory with a world title.
Well, I don't think it's as much as he decided to come in here and go like full time this year. I think it's that he knew that at the back end of the year he was going to have to do promotion for Street Fighter, as we discussed earlier.
I remember that.
So he figured, let's get the dates out of the way at the front end instead of spacing it out like he normally does. Still give the fans what they've come to expect from Roman, but give it in a consistent week by week over a certain amount of time basis instead of, I'll take time off, I'll come back in time for SummerSlam, I'll take time off, I'll come back in time for Survivor Series, and spreading it all out.
And Jacob Fatu just got spread on the floor, getting crowned with those steel ring steps tossed by Roman Reigns overhead. Jacob Fatu somehow still stirring, and Roman Reigns right now might be looking to go on a drive-by. I see that sign. I see what
drive-bys are horrible, and anybody that lives in California knows how bad drive-bys are.
To be fair, we are literally in the land of the mafia here. I'm just saying.
Boom!
Lining up Fatu, and a vicious drive-by, and back first, head first, goes Fatu into the ring post. Range.
I don't remember Akuma doing a drop kick like that, but I could be wrong.
I was saying, took over the replay here again. Double impact, the whiplash effect against the side of Fatu's head and the back of his head against the steel ring post.
You're more of a gamer than I am, Noah. Has Akuma ever done a drop kick like that?
Only if you put the opponent in the corner.
And mostly it's on Marvel vs. Capcom, not really the Street Fighter game.
Okay.
I'm about to say, they can't be as brutal in those Marvel games. They can't have Street Fighter, to be fair. Flying off the ropes with the lariat is Roman Reigns right now, taking advantage of Jacob Fatu, who's right now reeling.
They got a package with all the Marvel vs. Capcoms all together on PlayStation. Of course
they do.
I damn sure bought that. It was like 6 months ago, but yeah.
Look, if I actually had a system and played games, I would probably buy that too, because X-Men Street Fighter, Marvel Street Fighter, Marvel Capcom, like that whole trilogy leading up was some shit I loved playing at the college arcade.
Hell yeah.
See the sign now, Noah? The Dirty Dom Pringles
I
logo?
did. For the second time, I'll admit, that's pretty funny.
Tell me that wouldn't be a great shirt.
It would work, actually, especially in Italy, where they're known for those sort of red shirts and their designs. And Roman Reigns looking to lock and load right now, looking for cover the Sue, and you're about to have a duck underneath. Big right hand.
Dom's going to get into the chip business, and then it'll be Dirty Dom Doritos.
Just like when Rock called Cena's shirts looking like a big bowl of Fruity Pebbles, and they spun that into a Fruity Pebbles endorsement.
Clothesline sense on combination.
Go to Pringles, make an official deal, and turn that into a legitimate shirt.
Right.
Grief almighty. The last thing I need is a WWE branded treat that I actually enjoy. I might literally turn away from Pringles and stick to my Lay's only. Big headbutt.
You'd buy it.
No.
You'd be sitting here on Simply Predicting with a can of original Pringles with the Dirty Dom face on it.
I kept attack. No.
Your bottle of Prime, your Slim Jim.
Oh, I stopped drinking Prime after freaking WrestleMania 39. I got tired of that stuff.
Remember those little triangle Doritos, man? The 3D ones? Woof.
Yes, the Doritos 3Ds.
Yeah.
Up. Oh, bro, a Superman punch. Roman the cover of the near leg. Take it. 2 by Fatu. Dang. Sudden impact there by Roman Reigns. Besides, I already told you, I'm a Red Spits guy. Take a look at the replay here, though, as he threw him off the rope with a Papa Samoan drop and instead got dropped by a Superman punch out of midair. Roman Reigns able to kip up all of a sudden. Trying to feed off this capacity crowd here that acknowledges him fully, and I do mean fully, as they come to their feet.
I actually thought the crowd would be more split towards Jacob, but they are fully on Roman.
The world acknowledges Roman Reigns. Intercept with a super kick.
Oh, shit. And
Fatu trying to wear down Roman Reigns. Got those fingers clasped around his throat. And Roman could be fainting right now here.
There's no way to get out. There's no rope race. There's no nothing. He's going to have to find a way to transition out of it.
Yeah, they got to suck the air out of this man right now, trapping the carotid artery, blocking the flow of oxygen to the brain.
You better hit him in his little chiefs.
That's a good point, by the way. Again, there's no disqualification. We saw desperate Roman Bros under regular rules at Backlash. Overhead shots, though, by Roman Reigns, just trying to literally break the grip of Fatu, who sends Roman, driving him up and over. There's on his feet, though. And Fatu, once again, on the move, looking to fly. Oh, man, you're sinking! With a Superman punch on the dive.
That wasn't the smartest move by Jacob. He should have flipped over with Roman and held the lock in. To release it, you helped Roman.
Well, again, though, as I talked about earlier, what is the weakness that Roman can exploit, JJ? That is Jacob Fatu's emotions. Ever since Fatu confronted Roman Reigns about what he wanted, what the tribal chief had versus wanting to be the tribal chief, it's been nothing but an emotionally driven purpose for this father of seven.
To your point, the emotions, capitalizing on Jacob's emotions, he's trying so hard to be good, to succeed for his family. He's trying to take that step to the next level. And a victory over the tribal chief cements that for him. It raises his status. But a victory over the tribal chief doesn't come easy. Look at the people that beaten him. Look at the people that and what they've gone through after beating him.
Mm-hmm. And as dads ourselves, you can't really blame him for having that motivation. Family's a hell of a motivation to do things beyond what you think are normal means.
What the hell?
What is Roman thinking? He saw a Singapore cane and said no. He saw a steel chair, said no. Now he's got this toolbox.
It's like an electrician's toolbox. What the hell?
Tools of destruction right now at hand.
Oh!
Driving down on the hand of Jacob Fatu.
Not just any hand, but the hand that applies the tongue of death grip. He's trying to make it less of a weapon now.
And about saying now, literally pulling out whatever was inside that toolbox here, dumping out the contents. I think I saw a steel chain in there.
And a sledgehammer. Dude, but you're taking the weight off. Well, either way, that thing is going to weigh something.
That's a solid metal toolbox,
yeah.
Walter. I'm just saying. They broke the hand and wrist of Jacob Fatu, and the brothers just trying to grab, the steel ring steps. Uh-oh. Oh!
Yeah, but Roman took advantage of it. But
yeah,
you know what, though? Adrenaline is a hell of a thing if Jacob can just get the adrenaline pumping.
Man, about to say, what strategy by Roman Reigns neutralizing Jacob Fatu's most lethal new weapon, constant assault and attack on that right hand, to your point, for the tongue and death grip, and now just teeing off against Fatu, leave him on the canvas.
It's shit. Say what you want. That's intelligent as hell.
To Walter's point, both cocaine and adrenaline are a hell of a drug.
Again, when everything's at stake here, though, you need to throw everything against your opponent. You need to throw freaking conduct out of the window. And it's tribal combat. You don't have to show any decorum. This is where you can be your most savage. Paul Heyman used to warn us how dangerous Roman Reigns is when you literally try and threaten the livelihood of his family. And that's literally what Jacob Fatu's done here tonight.
Roman hasn't read the wrestling proverbs. He who sets the table up goes through it. He just set that table up in the corner, probably going for a Superman punch or a spear into the table.
Well, he's got Fatu squared up as Fatu right now might be turning around into a collision. Roman Reigns right now with the war cry. Oh, man, and Fatu immediately on the attack. Just colliding into Roman and follows up with a shade of Umaga with the running hip attack in the corner, crushing Roman Reigns. Again, though, the thing about Fatu, to your point about the strategy, how much damage does Fatu actually face or feel for the long term? We've seen how quick this man can recover, and uh-oh.
He's going to hit a running hip attack, isn't he?
Speaking of quickness, by the way, Roman Reigns was on the blunt end of this alongside his cousins, the Usos, on the Monday Night Raw, just literally 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, to your point. Still trying to get feeling back in that kid right now. And Jacob Fatu right now on the move, and Roman Reigns runs into him with a Superman punch.
And he ran into it. On top of that, more momentum for Roman.
That's the third time now this match that Roman Reigns has intercepted Jacob Fatu freaking offense with a Superman punch. It's almost like it's kryptonite at this point.
Oh, TC.
Exhausted Roman Reigns, though, as you can see him right there.
But if he goes crazy, Noah, will you still call him Superman?
Or be his kryptonite?
Now, Roman Reigns right now maybe squaring up Jacob Fatu for his own running. Spear through the barricade!
Oh my God, the security was calling to that.
Yeah, security crushed underneath that partition.
Yeah, they're workers. They know how to take bumps.
Uh-huh.
Well, they're paid to keep the peace, and there will be no peace here as they endure the chaos.
Roman's got to be exhausted. So you guys got to remember, he is on a permanent medication to keep leukemia in remission. So that medicine will wear you the hell out. The longer a match goes, the more exhaustion he has.
Yep. To your point.
Ooh,
And Roman Reigns again with the war cry. Spear! Cover to retain the title! Kick out 2.5 by Fatu.
Bro, that was literally the last second you can kick out.
Thank you, Walter. You mentioned his medication. I forgot to take my antibiotic today. So I just took that shit real quick.
I'm about to say, JJ, please take care of yourself from it. To anybody out there, take care of yourselves to protect
Well, I've only got 3 more pills that I have to take. I'm almost done taking them.
It's because this event started so early it threw you off your normal regimen.
Yeah, accurate. And speaking of being thrown off, Jacob Fatu's been thrown off his game,
Seriously,
especially with 2 of those
I
spears.
woke up, took a shower.
Oh.
I woke up, took a shower, filmed something I needed to film, corresponded with some people via Messenger, and then jumped in here. Like, I completely was off my shit today.
Exactly.
But shout out to the 320 of y'all that are watching us right now. Mind numbing.
Right? And
For
this
this
isn't even
glorified house show, right, Noah?
that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's not even a big board. We got that many.
Well, again, it's WWE. They're the most recognized brand on the planet. And it's also in the afternoon, not the evening. And it's also Sunday. And usually Sundays are a day of rest.
Uh-oh. Noah.
Okay.
Deja vu, Noah.
About to say.
We were talking about Slim Jim earlier. See the Slim Jim table in the corner.
And another turnbuckle exposed. And it looks like Roman Reigns might be turning the ring into his own lethal weapon.
Well, it's tribal combat. It's all legal.
Surprised it took it this long, though. But again, I don't think Roman Reigns necessarily needs to do this. But at the end of the day, it might be what he wants to do now. Because, again, Jacob Fatu is barely stirring.
But the irony, if Jacob can use that against him, remember, this is how Roman defended the title.
I'll tell you that again applied. Again, though, the fingers, the damage done to the hand, clearly being seen here, to your point, Walter. Superman punch! And Fatu, though, somehow literally willing it off. And again, runs through another Superman punch. And what the hell is this werewolf on?
He didn't hulk up. He tongued up.
Face first in the exposed turnbuckle, though, and another exposed turnbuckle. Roman Reigns on the move and on the attack and off the ropes. Spear by Fatu! With Roman on the run and cover! Backwards leg kick out 2 by Roman.
He hit a rotating spear.
The way that Roman hooked Jacob's arm as he kicked out, I thought he was going to backslide him there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, again, too much taken
If they
out of
show
both
it here
these
in the
men.
replay, watch. See the way he hooked the arm? I thought he was going to slide him over and get the 3 count that way.
Well, clearly, a lot's been taken out of both these men, JJ, but that would have been a great countermeasure, but Roman Reigns was unable to capitalize off that sudden impact. And now Fatu looking to spring up to the top rope with that big moonsault crashes into the canvas.
That's why they call it high risk.
Disastrous move by Jacob Fatu, and Roman Reigns once again in the driver's seat in position.
That table's still there, by the way.
Roman Reigns again, though. Fatu in the center. Pop up. Samoa drop connects finally by Fatu. And now Jacob, little stumble step, though. Spring up again to the top rope. Hits the Samoa and werewolf moonsault. New champion cover, level 2 count only.
Oh, the low blow kick out. We remember that?
Yep. About to say, I want to see a different angle of that, though, but clearly you can see it on Fatu's face and Roman Reigns' desperate saving grace. That was a low blow kick out.
We've seen that before. That's shades of the old Roman.
And at the end of the day, like I said, Tribal Combat, it's legal. Desperate, but legal. Let's take a look at the replay here. Fatu literally crawled in the cover, and yep, that was a straight up low blow to kick out of there.
I hope you wore a cup, Jacob.
And Roman Reigns put out all the tricks here tonight to preserve what he literally has built for the last 5+ years here in WWE with the Bloodline.
We got to be careful. Look at the angle, and the table's right there now.
That table might literally be the X factor or the final note in this freaking personal vendetta that both these men are on for only the glory of their own families. And again, Fatu using that damage right hand with this overhead shot exchange. Both men up to their feet now, though. And someone's got to give her eventually with these two proud, wild Samoans. And again, Tongue and Death going to apply, but again, can Jacob Fatu firmly keep a hold of it, though, and render Roman Reigns to passing out. And again, the Roman breaks away. Face first, the exposed turbo goes Fatu. And Roman Reigns now relentlessly driving Fatu into the exposed steel.
That might bypass the Samoan rule. Don't hit him in the head. If it's a steel post exposed turnbuckle, maybe you can.
And Fatu, though, still out on his feet, staggering. Roman Reigns in the middle. Spear through the table!
See, not even the Proverbs can't even be followed by Roman. He set the table up, and yet he put his opponent through it.
And Fatu exploding through that table, left in its rubble.
But Fatu to his feet first.
Yeah, how the hell is that even possible?
Again, you talked about before when you're fighting for more than just yourself, and Roman Reigns on the move. Super Spear next. Cover on Fatu, and Roman Reigns is still World Heavyweight Champion Tribal Chief.
Told y'all.
He rolled like he kicked out, but it was just too late.
Jeez.
Short of running him over with a truck, Roman literally had to pull everything out.
Talk about a grind to the finish. The Samoan werewolf will now be reduced to nothing more but everybody else that has faced Roman Reigns in WWE. Someone to acknowledge him, but more importantly, as family to a degree, now someone to serve him.
But did Roman really win, or did he just survive, Jacob?
Well,
Doesn't matter.
About to say, Jeff took the words out of my mouth. Acknowledge Roman Reigns, still your tribal chief and world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, if it's in the contract that Jacob has to acknowledge Roman and he doesn't, what now? You know what I mean?
Well, Jacob
Yeah,
did say prior to this that regardless, I'll have a job. Nothing will change as far as that goes. What that job involves, though, well, humbled in defeat, Jacob Fatu certainly might be. But again, you'll find, I'm sure, tomorrow on Monday Night Raw, after surviving everything rumor could throw at him, except CM Punk's undoing that running super spear to become victorious in tribal combat.
Shit, we haven't even seen Punk since he lost to Roman either.
Nope.
And that's just that swan song note on Monday Night Raw where you never know where a championship opportunity might fall into your lap and present itself.
This is valid.
As the Usos come out here to celebrate this moment with their tribal chief, with Roman Reigns, and to JJ's point, Roman did it all on his own.
I don't think they're here to celebrate. I think they're here to enforce that Jacob acknowledges him.
I love that Oos shirt that Jimmy's wearing. I need like 3 of those.
The baseball type shirt?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, to your point, tribal service and acknowledgement now are the requirements for Jacob
Big
Fatu
Jim Uso.
going
Yeah,
forward.
definitely need that.
Jacob Fatu thought it was a hard time getting into here. It's going to be a hard time now living in here.
Dude, his hand has got to be throbbing.
Well, what's hurting him more, his hand or his heart?
Both.
Yeah, that's fair too.
The answer is just yes.
But just think about that. Jacob Fatu was always going to be the Anawahi that never made it to WWE. He was always that loose cannon. You could never predict what he was going to do. He was uncontrollable. And he just main evented one of the biggest shows of the year with Roman. So whatever happens with this acknowledgement and the attitudes or whatever, Jacob Fatu has main evented.
Oh shit! The rest of the family.
So it's Sikoa and the MFTs at ringside.
The Sons of Haku. Let's not forget, folks.
And again, the one that literally brought in Jacob Fatu.
Roman just said, I got something for him.
Well, let's not forget, Solo Sikoa
This is
tried to
going to be
impose his
Survivor
position.
Series.
Dude, you know, Roman's got, dude, you see that? Roman's walking away. He's finally got that tribal chief head of the table, cock of the walk back. Hell yeah, dude.
But look at Jacob. He's standing at a fork in the road. Does he follow Roman and the Usos? Does he go back to Solo, or does he go a different direction?
He only has one direction now, JJ, because he signed on the dotted line. Talk about selling your soul out to the devil, according to Jacob Fatu's mind. He now serves Roman Reigns.
I think he's more of a lone wolf.
If he's a man of his word, he has to adhere to the contract that he signed.
He is
Jay's
following.
like, come on, let's go.
At the end of the day, Jacob Fatu is more than a man. He is a father. At the end of the day, if you're going to provide for your family, you have to fulfill obligations that are met by your job. And now his job is serving the tribal chief.
He's following Roman.
Roman's just up in the camera's face, letting them know Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. Jimmy seems conflicted. Jay's like, nah, let's go. This shit, let's go. Let's get up the ramp. And Jacob is walking up conflicted, and Solo and the Tongans are over there just stirring the shit without saying a word. I love how that ended.
And it's funny
because like that. Yeah, it ended just like that. And it was fucking beautiful. It's cinema, it's television, it's professional goddamn wrestling. Damn it.
And Jeff, the irony is that a couple of years ago, it was Jay that was conflicted.
Yeah.
And he's within the family. And here we have the other side of the family now serving the tribal chief. That being said, as Clash in Italy comes to a close, thank you to the 326 of you that tuned in to our watch along this evening. Again, stay tuned for our particularly breakdown tomorrow night. Me and Papagino, last minute standard time. And as you heard by JJ Pierce, now official, we will be covering the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, and they start tomorrow. So stay tuned as Walter and Jeff take the microphone of commentary, of course. And we'll also talk about the brackets here for the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments and covering the opening matches. But for now, on this Sunday afternoon from the States, I bid you arrivederci. For Walter, JJ, and Jeff, and the Seminole Foster, thank you to the 326 plus of you that tune in. Until the next time we're on your feed or in and out of YouTube on your screen, make a pause and pat in live. Have a good night, and thank you for tuning in to our coverage this eve for Clash in Italy. Have a good one, folks, and JJ, cut the damn feed.
Damn, Christopher Walken got old.
On Sunday afternoon. Okay. Signing off on Sunday afternoon.